Live show now from Talladega as we get going. This is a historic booth. That's Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, Jim Dunaway. Back in the day, used to have DW up in this booth for the big NASCAR races overlooking the 2.66 mile tri-oval, the high banks of the world's fastest speedway. And this is they're getting ready for the races coming up, not this weekend, but next weekend here at the Talladega Superspeedway. Welcome in to our broadcast booth for the next 3 hours or so as we get ready to talk a lot of college football, some basketball portal, and 1 week from the NFL draft. We'll get to all that in a second. But TalladegaSuperspeedway.com, TalladegaSuperspeedway.com, always for the tickets, man. And it's always fun to be at this track. First of all, the hospitality you get here. That's why people from 50 states and multiple countries come here for the racing. There's no racing like Talladega racing, and it just starts with the people and the hospitality.
Yep, it is true Southern hospitality, and that's kind of the roots of NASCAR. It's a Southern sport. So I think here at Talladega, and I haven't been to any other tracks, but here at Talladega, I don't think they've lost sight of that. I think they realize that it is a Southern-rooted sport, and they still have the Southern hospitality here.
Yeah, I don't know other places you can get that fried bologna sandwich. I guess they've still got it here.
They do.
Absolutely amazing. I've met people from all over. When I've only been to one fall race, and I've probably been to 5 or 6 spring races. I don't know if I've ever met anybody from another country. I know I know there are people that come in from other countries.
Yeah.
But do you recall any good stories of running across somebody from Germany or?
No, ironically, it was Germany, the one couple I met that was from there. So that's funny you said that.
Were they in the infield?
Well, I mean, they love racing over there.
They are you saying that because of the Autobahn or just racing in general?
No, just racing in general.
Yeah.
They love to drive fast.
It seems like they do.
Fastest speedway. We have the world's fastest highway. We'll come here and check this place out. It was a couple from Germany. And I remember what they were asking. They were asking if they had any beer gardens with a little accent. They wanted to know any beer gardens, and I said, any one of these buses right here is a beer garden.
But would that help them?
Find anything you want.
Go see Tony in turn 3.
That's
He's got
right.
a ton of it.
Could you sell extra tickets if you had a stretch of I-20 where there was no speed limit at all? Like if you're going to Talladega, hey, we've got a lane and you can get after it.
It's pretty crazy. Like if people have never been to the race, Speedway Boulevard is a 6-lane road. And at some point before the race, 2-3 hours before, maybe even before that, all 6 lanes are in.
That's right.
And then when the race is over, all 6 lanes are out. So, it is freaking every man for himself on Speedway Boulevard.
Yeah, if you are going against the grain, it takes getting the state troopers involved to get you out of this.
That's right. Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Have you ever dared to spend the night in the campgrounds?
I'm not.
Is that a way you do?
I've never spent the
Your
night.
mom has, right?
My mom used to camp out here all the time, outside the track, not in the infield. But I did have to come back. I've told this story before on our radio days, but I will say it again here for our digital audience. But in the old days, we would park our NBC 13. So this would have been the 90s. Our NBC 13 sat truck, maybe early 2000s, in Victory Lane, and it would stay in the area, and we would leave and come back and leave it every day. And we had left a master tape that we needed for a special back in Birmingham, maybe for the 10 o'clock news. And I was already back in Birmingham at the station. We're editing, and the tape they were looking for was in the SAT truck. And being the one that was doing the least amount of work on preparing for the show, I drove back out here to get it. And back then they used to make a perimeter. This was in wilder infield days. It's not this way anymore.
Was this pre-cell phone, by the way?
No, this would have been cell phone. This would have been probably not smartphones. I would tell you we had the Nextel. It was the Nextel series at the time. We had the old click and talk walkie-talkies. Hey. Yeah,
that one, yeah.
And you'd have to wait for the sound. But they used to barricade, like they would set up the perimeter. And it was like going through, like crossing the border, Mexico to the U.S. You would go to a checkpoint, and you would show credentials to get in. So I had to let them know I was coming back in to get something out of the NBC 13 truck. Smoke everywhere because of the campfires and anything. And once I made it in the perimeter and came in the tunnel, the first thing I saw was girl on the back of a pickup truck dancing to music, not with a stitch of clothes.
I was about to say, wearing nothing, I'm sure, yeah.
I mean, less than they wear at Sammy's back in the day. And I don't know what Sammy's is now, but back in the day, they still had to keep their underwear on.
I'm going to say she probably was one that didn't need to have every stitch of?
It was probably an infield 7.
Okay.
An, in the wild 4.5,
Yeah,
5.
yeah.
Well, by the
Okay.
way, we'll do win totals in a second.
Yes. I would take the under. No.
But then it just got wilder as you went in. There were guys walking around, chapless, buttless chaps walking around with their Bud Heavies and their Bud Lights, and it was just chaos.
Yeah, I remember the first
Sodom
time
and Gomorrah.
Yeah.
I came to a race was the April or May race of '97. And I remember my buddies, they were doing it every year, and they were doing spring and fall races, and they were always doing the infield, and they're like, you got to go with us. And so I finally was like, okay, I'll go. And we get out here. We hadn't been here more than an hour, and one of the guys in our group goes over. He's blacked out by now. This is 9, 10 o'clock in the morning. And he decides to take a piss on somebody's fire that they have started to build out there.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like,
Bad
wait,
luck, by the way.
yeah, this is,
Pissing on a campfire is bad
Yeah.
luck.
Yeah.
I know that.
yeah. And I was like, boy, this is not going to be a good day. This is
See, I
not going to be a
told you.
productive day.
See, I told you.
Yeah.
Bad
No,
luck.
Lance was right.
Did
Yeah.
he get his butt kicked?
I mean, there was a lot of back and forth, and it ended up settling down. But
Cooler heads prevail.
well, because I think that group hadn't gotten after it yet. I think if it would have been a little later in the day, but I was just blown away. But that was
Yeah.
there's always something. And the last time we were out here, we were doing man on the street stuff, and we randomly ran into Peyton Thorne.
That's right.
And there were a couple of girls handing out shots, and there was a big school bus, and
A lot of things.
a lot of things going on.
Yeah, you'll see a lot of things Talladega infield. It's
And
an
we got out
education.
of here before the sun went down, but
Yeah.
it's calmed down a lot over the years, and but it's still entertaining. Infield is good. Talladega Superspeedway, right down below us is the garage area. There's not another one like it in NASCAR. You can actually get in there and be as close as from us to the camera from the actual race cars, and you can watch your favorite driver, whether it's Chase Elliott or someone else that you Chase, very popular here, is why I went with Chase Elliott. Watch Chase Elliott and his crew work on the car and almost reach out and turn a lug nut for them. You can get the tickets at TalladegaSuperspeedway.com and ask about that garage experience, TalladegaSuperspeedway.com. Let's get going today with some college football talk and some stuff that's going on. And we'll hear guys back in Birmingham. We'll hear from Courtney Morgan, Alabama's general manager, cut 13, in just a second. But before we get going, last night's question at Odie's was what? Do you remember what it was?
I do. Which came first, Alabama football or the Ferris wheel?
I guarantee you know the first year of Alabama football, and it's actually pretty easy.
I did not know this.
1992?
You don't remember in 1992 they wore the 100-year patch?
I mean, maybe,
You
but
know?
That was the only way I knew it, is that I remember in 92, Auburn and Alabama, I think both of them, right, celebrated 100 years of football.
I always had the second guess. Didn't want to overstep. I was making sure 1892 wasn't when Columbus sailed the ocean blue.
That was only 400 years before.
That was a
yeah.
lot before that.
Yes.
So 1892 is the first football. I'm going to say the Ferris wheel, Lance, was part of the I'm going to say it was part of the 1876 World Fair.
Wow.
boy, you are so
Look at that,
close.
yeah.
So I'm about to finish that book, Devil in the White City, and I think I told you guys it's one chapter about the architecture and what they had to do to bring the World's Fair into Chicago, and then the other chapter is H.H. Holmes, one of the more infamous serial killers in the 19th century, killed over 200 people. But the World's Fair, 1893 in Chicago, they were trying to match what Paris. It was a big deal. Like they wanted to match the Eiffel Tower. And so George Ferris came up with this Ferris wheel.
Do you think that matched the Eiffel Tower or Ferris?
I don't think it did either.
Short, a little short.
But people were blown away with the size of this Ferris wheel and the fact that they'd never seen anything like it, and it was a ride. So at that point, people were as impressed with the Ferris wheel as they were with the Eiffel Tower, which is pretty incredible.
I will tell you, the one in Atlanta is large. The one in Las Vegas is bigger. But isn't the one in England, like in London, isn't it part of this part of the landscape now? It is so big, like it's part of the skyline. I think it's so big.
Yeah,
it's got a name. I can't remember.
Ferris wheel's never done it for me.
I tell you,
met with the right girl on top of the Ferris
wheel.
wheel.
The World's Fair was probably fun back in the day. We don't have those events. I think the last one might have been like St. Louis or Knoxville.
Yeah, there was one in Knoxville in the 80s. I remember people
84
going.
maybe.
Yeah.
But in 1893, I mean, people came from all over the world. I mean, it was a massive deal, and we don't really have anything like that anymore.
And pour one out for the World's Fair.
But that's the things you learn at Odie's Team Trivia every Wednesday night is Odie's Team Trivia. But great place to go. Enjoy this incredible spring weather. Sit out on the patio. Either location, the original Crestline, newest location in Edgewood. The great food from Rodney Davis, almost 4 decades now. Ice cold beer buckets full of the Bud Light. Birmingham Institution. Get in today. Go see Will Haver and that great staff. It's Odie's Tavern.
And our friend Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing, he'll get on your roof. Most of the roof's a little lower than we are, high atop the high banks here in Talladega. But he'll get on your roof and give you a free, no-cost roof inspection. He'll get up there and check out all the pipe fittings and around your chimney area, or just the shingles up there to make sure the summer hasn't already done its damage, the spring wind storms and such, or maybe last summer or maybe winter. That free no-cost roof inspection starts right there, 542-3531, 542-3531, or go to stormrestorationroofing.com, A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. You cannot beat Greg from Pell City, locally owned for over 20 years. He and his wife, Andrea, will take care of you. And again, try that soft wash program, because you may have a perfectly fine roof that looks old, but with a soft wash program, it'll look new again with stormrestorationroofing.com. Cut 13, Courtney Morgan. If you don't know who Courtney Morgan is, and you hear me reference the name so much because he came with Kalen DeBoer from Washington. He is the general manager. It is his job to construct the roster, to keep the roster together, to divvy up the money. And, the coaches have their input and everything, but Courtney Morgan is the one that is rearranging deck chairs and moving parts around, much like an NFL general manager. Front Office Sports did an interview with Courtney Morgan, and here's what Courtney Morgan said about the state of college football when it comes to building a championship roster.
You never really know what other schools are spending, because everyone has creative ways in the third-party NIL, the authentic NIL portion of their spending to pay players. So you really don't know what other people are really doing. You kind of do the math in your own head by monitoring what other schools and competition are doing, wondering probably more than $40 million, but you just never really know. So what we've done is try to take things in our own hand and come up with different ways that we can help offset the cap through content creation, third-party deals. If you spend your time worrying about what your competition is doing, you're not taking care of what's going on in your own program.
Not the best in the business, according to people that keep up with the general managers. So above what the cap is, the third party, the content creations and things like that. But he said 40 million there. And Josh Pate followed up seeing that story. He sends out a tweet this morning. He's told that some football teams this year will hit 60 million.
Oh, no.
And that the $100 million roster is imminent, is on the forefront.
Well, I was listening this morning on the way into Dusty and Danny on Sirius XM, and they had on a NIL specialist. I forgot what the guy's name was, but he was talking about how players last year that would have gotten $1 million are getting 1.65 this year on average. So you're talking about a 65% increase.
That can't sustain.
Well, you wouldn't think. We said this about head coaches, and a little bit different because head coaches are kind of slotted based on what other guys are doing. The problem you've got now is, I don't know what Aiden Sherrell ultimately got. Did he get $4 or $5 million? I know we'll get to that story. But people are going to overpay now. When you start to overpay for guys that weren't nearly as productive the year before, at least, market value shouldn't be where it is, then it gets so out of whack, and there's really not a model for it. So, Courtney Morgan, I agree. You got to think of really creative ways to be able to divvy up this NIL and have, different streams coming in and third parties. But when you get to a point where you're overpaying a guy that's not even going to be an impact player for you, I don't know how the market's going to be set. It's really, really confusing.
Did you? I just got to rewind on this. You said speculation of a $100 million college football roster?
Yeah, not this year. It's imminent.
And that was Josh saying that?
Josh Pate says he has talked to general managers who believe that one day we will get to the $100 million college football roster. It's imminent is the word to use, imminent.
I don't know how you do that. Like an entire athletic department revenue, like at a really, really good school, is somewhere 180 to 200 million.
Yeah.
And that's for an entire athletic department. And you're going to have now. Look, if football and basketball are the only two things you're doing, maybe that is sustainable. Like if you take rowing and gymnastics and swimming and diving and all that, and you make it club sports, and there's no scholarships anymore. And basically, the only thing you scholarship is men's. Well, you don't scholarship; they're employees, men's and women, or excuse me, football and men's basketball, and they're employees.
Well,
and that's it.
The only way it really sustains is we talked about, the venture capitalist, and we talked about private equity coming in. And if you get that involved and you somehow, like I know the numbers are growing, second most popular sport in America right now is college football. But if you could ever get those numbers close to where you get in the NFL, then you don't have a problem with it. I just don't know if the numbers are ever going to get there.
Well, let me use this as an example, though. The NFL is the most watched television product. It is that includes entertainment. It is the most watched television product. It is just through the roof with advertisers, both in stadium and everywhere. But they have a salary cap. We're doing this college football thing more like Major League Baseball, where you're going to have the extreme disparities. And right now, there are still some, teams trying to punch up to what their history is.
Right.
But they may not have the financial backing that the new players on the market have. We'll get the win totals coming up in the next segment, and you'll see a couple of those win totals that are out of whack compared to the history of those programs.
So what do you guys think the current cap is for 2026? Obviously, it's at an all-time high.
In the NFL?
Yeah.
Oh, in the NFL.
In the NFL, yeah.
It's for some reason the number 262 million.
I was actually going to say 286. I thought it was somewhere.
Y'all are in the neighborhood. $301 million
so
this
it's up to
year.
301.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just raised to that. So yeah, we were close on last year's.
Yeah,
and that's the best sports model in the world.
Yeah, and I was starting to think at $300 million, how much money are you really making?
They're still printing it, apparently.
I know.
Well, there's another way you can attack it as well, too.
What's that?
Because, what you don't see at the Los Angeles Rams practice, you don't see 101 players on the field either. You know what I mean?
Well, no, there's going to be smaller rosters.
And I know we only go 85 scholarships.
Yeah.
But that's 85 scholarships, and I imagine 85 people are getting some NIL money to be in those scholarships.
And that's a scholarship model, which I don't think will survive.
Yeah, so you can get that down, to 65 maybe, 70, start cutting that way to lower the cost as well. I think that's part of the future as well.
No, I think 100%. Employees, men's basketball and football are employees of the school. Everybody else is playing a club sport. The non-revenue sports are club sports. You trim the rosters down to an agreed-upon number that they think they can manage and win with or play with, and then you start paying those guys. And, I guess on the numbers I just gave you, let's say Alabama's revenue is $180 million, and they got $100 in their football and $30 in their basketball. I guess $50 million excess. Well, crap. I just did the roster right there without coaching salaries. If you got a $100 million roster at a place like Ohio State or Texas,
and you've got another 20 in coaches,
if not more.
Yeah.
And then when you consider staff and analysts and the army of people now, I don't know how you turn a profit on that.
Better to be me than Greg Byrne right now.
100%.
How are you putting those
and
together?
I'm telling you, this is another reason. You guys brought up. It was A.J. McCarron we were talking about yesterday, the Birmingham Stallions head coach. What would his future be if he has success at the coaching level? Would it be college or the NFL? If I'm these guys, not only the calendar, but the unknowns with how financially you're going to structure this and how you're going to make it work.
But because to your point, in the NFL, I know I'm getting $300 million.
Yeah.
I know I'm getting it.
Yeah, and you know how you're getting your players, too.
That's right. Yeah.
I'll tell you, man, another thing, and I thought about this with the Aiden Sherrell, and it's just one example. But and I understand it because people are passionate about their program. But as an NFL fan, as a Rams fan, if I had turnover of the roster every single year, it would be difficult.
Yeah.
You're going to get your 6 to 8 guys that are gone and your 5 to 7 guys that come in, but you're going to have your core structure there for 3 to 5 to 7 years. And, at college, I know you got used to the turnover every 3 years, but it's every year now.
Yeah.
It is, especially in basketball. It's until you hear them recommit, they've reached a financial deal like you've had a couple from Auburn. You don't know who's on the roster. We'll talk about that basketball story, Aiden Sherrell, and who Alabama has brought in. Another big commitment happening today that could impact Auburn. Not expected to, but could impact Auburn today on the recruit. He's a former Alabama commit. We'll get to all that here in this opening segment after LT tells you about our friends at Hoover Toyota. Toyota's owning the NASCAR track right below us. We'll see if they have success here. And they're on the roadways right now. The beautiful car that you drive to work every day.
Yeah, one of the heads of security led me in. I think he led you guys into Neil. And I followed him in, and when I parked, got out, and he was like, how do you like the Land Cruiser? And we started talking, and I was like, it's my first Toyota. He was like, my first car I ever bought was a Toyota. He was like, my wife's in a RAV right now. And I was like, my daughter's in a RAV. And we got into a big Toyota conversation up the elevator. I can't make that up. But so excited about the Land Cruiser that I'm in. If you're looking for reliability, something that is safe, something that's going to really hold its value, that is the Toyota. We talked about these transmissions at 100,000 miles. They're gone. Basically, the car is shot. Don't have to worry about that with the Toyota. Get in, see the incredible staff. They're located Highway 150 right there in Hoover, led by Scott. You've got Kim, you've got Harold. A lot of great folks out there. On-site finance department is one of the best. To view that inventory today, either stop in Highway 150 or online, hoovertoyota.com.
So as we mentioned last week, Indiana was very interested in Aiden Sherrell from Detroit, Michigan, but 2 years at Alabama. When he initially went into the portal, we knew he was going to get more money. And we were talking Michigan State. You know, Michigan's got a big turnover. Izzo's trying to make one last run. But Indiana is where Aiden Sherrell ends up, the big man inside who played 2 really good seasons, got better each year, really runs the floor well. When he shoots the three pretty good. Now he's going to Indiana. And in the neighborhood, if you believe the word on the street, $4 to $5 million to go to Indiana. First, before you comment on that, I'll tell you Alabama on the backside of that, getting Mississippi State's Jamarian Davis Fleming. He's a 6'10 body. His career high game, only 13 points. He averaged 3 points, 4 rebounds a game. Considered to be the 282nd player in the portal right now. So I don't think that's not apples to apples. You're replacing Sherrell with Jamarian Davis Fleming, but that is a big body who will help Alabama coming off the bench. Things to remember with Alabama, great recruiting class coming in, and they've got some recruits that were really, really good last year. You're waiting to see a couple of them recommit to Alabama, new deals, mint, and all that. So when you see the kid coming from Mississippi State and you see Sherrell going to Indiana on the same day, don't think they're apple-to-apple players. They're not. And don't think, though, that Alabama is also thinking they're replacing Aiden Sherrell with this guy, because they do not think that. He's a role player coming in to have minutes underneath. He's not the guy, in my belief, he's not the guy who's going to be in the starting 5.
I would agree with that. So you're getting a drop-off if you're just going piece for piece there. Back to the Indiana big picture. You know, Darian DeVries took over this past year, 18-14. Wasn't a good year, but it was year one. If you're Indiana, you can't stand pat. You look at Michigan just won a national championship. You look at Nebraska just had a historically good year for the program, a team that has done absolutely nothing on the basketball front. You look at 2 of your major rivals in Purdue and Illinois and Iowa have all but surpassed you over the last 15 years. They're better programs, and they showed it this past tournament. So if you're Indiana, we can do it in football. We sure as hell can do it in basketball.
And I think that's the thing they quickly learned is you can spin to win in football. Why not do it? We're a basketball school. I mean, this football thing's been fun, and we think we can sustain it. We like our coach. But what really fires our fan base up? It's filling Assembly Hall and playing for championships. So this football thing's been fun. We'll keep it going. But if we can do it in football, surely we can do it in basketball. I mean, I think at some point you knew that was going to happen.
Later today, former Alabama commit, decommitted, 4-star shooting forward, Christopher Washington, a 6'9" guy. He's playing his high school ball in Murfreesboro, Tennessee this year, is going to choose between – listen, this is coast to coast. This is college.
Right.
This is college sports right now. He's choosing today between – one-time Alabama commitment between Auburn, Ole Miss, Tennessee, Villanova, and USC. That's coast to coast.
He's got
Philly to L.A. with a stop in the South.
almost got one in every time zone. He skipped the mountain time zone.
Hey, you know what?
You expected to get him.
Yeah.
I've never seen the country. You know how you see the country?
That's right.
5 schools, 5 different regions.
That's right.
You go and take some visits. Arkansas picked up Georgia point guard Jeremiah Wilkerson. They're trying to keep Malik Thomas out of the draft. If they do that, Arkansas will be your early pick to win the SEC next year, even though yesterday we do get the official word that Alex Condon is returning to Florida. But if they keep Malik Thomas out of the NBA draft, Arkansas will be my pick to win the SEC next year.
And they finished very strong. Obviously won the SEC tournament. A lot of people thought that was going to carry over to the NCAA tournament. Didn't quite do that. But I think you can see the Calipari, the wheels are rolling there. It's starting to look a little bit like early Kentucky with Calipari.
Yeah, I mean, and speaking of Kentucky, I think outside of Kentucky, they probably have the most money at least invested right now in NIL. I think Florida's probably not far off, but Arkansas is all in, and especially what you saw Cal was able to do in year 2.
College football win totals. I promised LT I would pull those up. We'll do those in our next segment. I have all the SEC, all the Big Ten, and then some important ACC, Big 12, and, of course, Notre Dame that we will talk about. And later in the show, 10:30 is when you're going to hear our interview with Cole Best, Auburn center, who came from South Florida. We'll hear from Cole Best coming up. A lot more college football to get to, and some draft stuff. 7 days from the NFL draft, and you can have a lot of fun with the draft with our friends at Kalshi. Promo code TNR. Listen, it felt like easy money to me last night.
It always is.
It felt like easy money, and I won last night. I mean, it's a play-in game, and I thought to myself, what's Steph Curry doing in a play-in game? I'm going to take Steph Curry. I played
catch him 5.5.
I played the money line and got a little extra juice with my position at Kalshi. I didn't watch it. I went to sleep, but I woke up. Steph Curry scored, what,
35, yeah.
At 35. I was like, I'm going to ride with Steph Curry at Kalshi. Promo code TNR. That's the kind of fun you can have.
Look, you can take a position on a lot of different things. NBA is dark tonight, but we'll be back with 2 more play-in games tomorrow night, but plenty of Major League Baseball sides and totals. Of course, if you want to take a position, the great thing about Kalshi, legally available in 50 states, not only the sports, pop culture, politics as well. First thing you got to do is download the app that is Kalshi. Put in that code TNR. When you trade $10, you're going to get $10 back. It is that simple, Brown.
Yeah, your champion right now still favored to win. Oklahoma City at 46%, San Antonio at 17%, Boston at 15%. If you want to play that right there at Kalshi, you can do that, and as Lance said, code TNR when you sign up at Kalshi.com or download the Kalshi app. I get you $10 on your first $10 position with our friends at Kalshi.
All right, and our friends at Way to Wellness can jumpstart your weight loss this summer. It's spring and summertime, and it's going to be hot. We may set records tomorrow, temperature-wise, in parts of Alabama. So let's get out there and take our shirts off. Everybody take your shirts off. Get in the pool and look good this year with our friends at Way to Wellness, your journey to healthy living. The website is aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. And Leslie and her board-certified team will show you all the plans they have, injection therapies to meal replacement and everything in between. First consultation's free. There's no contract, and there's no sign-up fee. It works, folks. A Way to Wellness, your journey to healthy living. Win totals when we come back live to Talladega.
Follow Brownie on Twitter and Instagram at Ryan Brown Live.
I'm attorney Alexander Shinar, Alabama born, Alabama raised, and ready to fight for your rights. I have one of the largest firms in Alabama, and we are here to help you get the compensation you deserve. Call me, Alabama, 323-1000.
Your representation states that the quality of legal services being performed is greater than those of other lawyers.
To everyone who craves a fresh meal made just for you, let our team member Jacob share what's special about Culver's.
In Wisconsin, our food comes from the heart, and taking the time to handcraft your meal with care is how we've always done it at Culver's. It's why your Butterburger doesn't touch the grill until after you order.
Come to Culver's and let us serve you a Butterburger made special just for you. From Wisconsin with love, welcome to Delicious.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Hey, for all of your IT and printing needs, reach out to our friends at Xerox Business Solutions. Look, I'm still one of those old school guys. I print my notes every single day for the show. If you watch the show here on the next round, you see all the notes in front of me. From day one, Xerox Business Solutions, they've been with us here at the next round. Local for over 45 years. For all of your IT and printing needs, visit XeroxBusinessSolutions.com or call 205-969-3000. That's 205-969-3000. Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service.
Birmingham, get ready to pregame with the Birmingham Legion FC at the Coca-Cola Soccer Block Party May 7th from 2 to 6 at Protective Stadium. Bring the whole family for music, giveaways, and tons of family football fun for free from 2 to 6 May 7th at Protective Stadium. After the party, the Birmingham Legion FC takes on Miami FC with kickoff at 7 o'clock. Tickets for the match are available at bhmlegion.com. Come kick it at Protective May 7th with the Birmingham Legion FC and enjoy ice-cold Coca-Cola, because fan work is thirsty work.
When you think of Birmingham, it's hardworking people that go out each and every day to provide for their families, and that's how we want our team and our play on the field. Join us April 18th as we take on the Orlando Storm. United we ride.
This spring, make it a week the whole family will remember. The Regions Tradition, presented by Coca-Cola, returns to Greystone for championship golf and family fun. Watch legendary players compete, enjoy activities for all ages, and experience the excitement on and off the course. Don't forget to stop by Hole 10 following play on Saturday for a live concert featuring Blues Traveler. This is a week you don't want to miss. April 29th through May 3rd. Get your tickets now.
Ain't no party like a Dega party. The noise, the chaos, the will to survive. The biggest, boldest, brashest, fastest, and most intimidating track in all of NASCAR. Only one place calls that home. At Talladega, anything can happen. And at this superspeedway, everything usually does. Hell yeah, boys! NASCAR weekend at Talladega Superspeedway, April 24th through the 26th. Get your tickets now at TalladagaSuperspeedway.com.
Back with you live from the Talladega Superspeedway today. We're out here a little early to watch some of the track setup going on here, and to remind you to go buy tickets. Great tickets still available. TalladagaSuperspeedway.com, TalladagaSuperspeedway.com. And not only do you have great tickets in the stands here, it is also some great garage experience tickets, the most immersive garage experience in all of NASCAR, where you can get into the garage bays and watch them work on the cars and things on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday pre-race. But you also are part of the pre-race ceremonies, which are always a blast here, and then Victory Lane, at the Mobile One Victory Lane afterwards. So TalladagaSuperspeedway.com, TalladagaSuperspeedway.com to get the tickets, and go ahead and just take care of that now and enjoy that coming up April 26th for the Jack Links 500, the Jack Links 500. Coming up here at the Talladega Superspeedway. Always fun to be out here, but we're talking college football. Before we do that, what a neat deal yesterday in Tallahassee, which, by the way, I know Brown knows this because he used to brag that he knew all 50 state capitals.
Tallahassee is the state capital.
Tallahassee is the state capital.
One of the easier ones there, yeah.
Yeah. So when you're the governor, Ron DeSantis,
right?
He lives in Tallahassee.
I would hope.
Yesterday, Ron DeSantis, governor of Florida, changed the name of the Tallahassee airport. It is now the Bobby Bowden Tallahassee International Airport.
I don't think there's anybody that is more associated when you say Tallahassee, Florida than Coach Bowden.
Oh, that's the face that would pop up easily.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even know number 2 might be Deion Sanders, and
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even know how much time he spent in Tallahassee.
And listen,
that's true.
I don't know.
And by the way, Ron DeSantos probably has a mailbox there. probably lives in Alice, but
supporting our economy.
There's the signature making it official that it's the Bobby Bowden Tallahassee International Airport. So happy for the Birmingham native, the legendary Florida State coach, and his family, obviously. Any other college football head coaches that have a airport named after them?
I mean, I've never been to the Tuscaloosa Airport. I know it's a strip, right?
So I've always heard
more. It is growing.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, I'm sure Nick Saban probably would be popped on that, and everybody would be like, let's give it a thumbs up.
Well, it's named after, I've always heard this story. I don't know if it's true, but I've always heard the story that the Tuscaloosa Airport is technically named Vandergriff Airport.
Is it really? For the center fielder right now for Alabama softball?
There were 2 Vandergriffs that went to Alabama. One, this is the story I'm told, and people in the chat room can confirm or deny this. One invented the Vandergriff generator, which is apparently a significant
big invention in
scientific invention. The other was the first or one of the first All-Americans for Alabama football. Now, which one do you think the airport is named after?
Oh, the football player.
Of course.
I mean, it should be the inventor, I guess, but
it's Tuscaloosa.
Yeah.
Which one are they going to name it after? Now, I've always heard that. I don't know if that's urban legend or not.
But inventor or not, or football player, you could flip it to Saban and you'd be completely fine.
I don't think anybody knows it's Vandergriff Field
in
Tuscaloosa.
I mean, I don't know, I mean, Nebraska, are they more associated with Devaney or
Osborne? Oh, I mean, my generation.
Me too. But like
that was going to be the one I'd guess. Is it because Lincoln? I would imagine is a smaller airport like Tuscaloosa. I was going to say, is it Tom Osborne?
Tom Osborne Field
probably can't be international.
I feel like when it's a small airport, we have to go field.
Yeah, but you can't call it Saban Field because Saban Field is Saban Field.
You don't want a plane landed at Bryant-Denny. Nobody landed at Saban Field. I don't know.
Got confused there.
Yeah.
I was just trying to think around the country.
Yeah, I mean, Boise's too big to have Chris Peterson.
Yep, it is. And for some reason, I think that's somebody famous at Boise.
Oh, really?
I mean, maybe. I don't know.
I've
never been to Boise. I've always wanted to go.
Either. It seems like a cool town.
There's great skiing in that area.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
What is it? Sun Valley? What is the skiing in Idaho? I don't know.
That's that used to be Sun Valley. Actually hosted some skiing for an Olympics back in the 50s.
Yeah, that might be Boise or outside of Boise.
Yeah, outside of Boise. All right, our Innisfree countdown to kickoff today, before we get to these win totals, 135 days, flying by 135 days. For those, I think we tried this one time. Where we counted down the days to kickoff. We didn't do 40 for 40 one year. I think we started dead last, and we counted down one.
We did.
Every show.
That was on radio.
From dead last. And
I remember,
maybe our first year together.
No, I think it was in the pandemic.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
We were just looking for anything. Yeah. Well, we didn't know when football was going to start in the pandemic.
We had no idea.
Couldn't have done it then. We couldn't have done a countdown.
Well, I don't think we synced it up. I think we had what was the original date.
All I
remember doing that.
Okay,
though.
maybe we brought it back in the pandemic. I do think with Jim, I think we did it early in our time together on radio because Jim had the idea, and you're like, you know what Lance said? Oh, I can sell that.
Yeah.
So we had a sponsor for it. And
I really think it was our first year.
I remember doing like, all right, Central Michigan guys, the Chippewas.
We might have done it both. I mean, so many things. I mean, we did Netflix brackets when it came to pandemic.
Yeah, so
pandemic.
So I
to get creative.
think if you're doing that, if you're in some outlet somewhere, you're doing the full countdown. I think we're over 135 Division I teams now. Does that seem right?
It's 38.
Yeah,
I'm mistaken. Yeah.
So you're into the countdown now. If you're counting from 138 to 1, that's how close to football is. But that's our Innisfree countdown today. Our 40 and 40 is coming up pretty soon. And if you want to vote, this will be the first time I'll send it out to you. If you want to vote, my DMs are open at Jim Dunaway, both on Instagram and on Twitter. You can go DM me at either one of those and at Jim Dunaway, and you can let me know, hey, I want to be a 40 and 40 voter again.
Do Lance and I need to do that, or it comes with a job?
You have to.
Oh, okay.
It's mandated. It's
All
part
right,
of your work. 135 Innisfree Countdown, Lakeview and Tuscaloosa. You can go by there and enjoy the great Irish pub food there, the happy hour, the great atmosphere, and, of course, game days. Innisfree, Lakeview, and in Tuscaloosa, our Innisfree Countdown is 135 days.
The College Football Spotlight
is presented each day by our guy Alexander Shinara. It's the Shinara Spotlight, Shinara.com, Shinara.com. When you find yourself in need of legal assistance for any situation you're facing, you start with our guy Alexander Shinara. Shinara.com is the website. You don't pay a dime unless they win your case, and boy, does he win cases. How about $2 billion recovered for his clients? $2 billion over 25 years. That's astounding. He's done that by just keeping a few core values: integrity, mastery, passion, and success. That has led to recovering $2 billion for his clients. So when you find yourself in need of an attorney, Shinara.com. You don't pay a dime unless they win your case at Shinara.com.
Okay, win totals here from FanDuel is where we get these win totals, and they were first out with these. So these are the ones I have written down today. But when it comes time to play your win totals, our friends at Golesh, promo code TNR. A couple overviews before we start running through these, okay? There are two teams whose win totals are 11.5.
Notre Dame.
So that means they've got to go undefeated for over, or they lose one game and it's an under.
No, I would say Notre Dame, and after looking at their schedule, it wouldn't shock me if it's Miami.
I think it's Texas Tech or Miami.
You'll need to choose.
Do you think Notre Dame's the other one, though?
Notre Dame is
Notre Dame.
Notre Dame is correct. 11.5. There's one other team that
I would take Texas Tech.
It is Texas Tech at 11.5 after we looked at that schedule. So those are the only two teams in college football that roll in at 11.5.
And I think you probably play both the unders, just for the simple fact of how difficult it is. Even on paper, we don't know how good some of those teams are going to be. So I think probably you lean the under and just hope for one mishap.
Just one loss.
Yeah.
And you're a winner. And what has been the thorn in Marcus Freeman's side? I mean, he has a loss every year where you're like, how they?
Yeah,
I mean, last year was his best two losses that he ever had.
Help me remember. You lost
Miami and Texas A&M. Yeah.
Well, of course, it kept them out of the playoffs.
Yeah, but both of them were so close.
Yeah.
But the year before it was Marshall.
Yeah. Yeah. He's lost to some really average or bad teams. So I would play both of those under, LT.
Yep.
My next overview of this before we run through the SEC is that there are 9 games this year now in the SEC. There is not one SEC team that has a win total 11.5 or 10.5.
What's the
not one of them?
Yeah. What's the highest we ever saw Alabama get in the Saban era?
Oh, they were 11.5.
11.5.
I don't think we ever saw 11. I think it was 11.
Come on.
I think it was 11. 11.5 in the SEC would be crazy. 10.5 would be pretty crazy this year. But if it was going to be a team, it would have to be Georgia.
Even in the SEC East days when Kirby could feast on that East schedule, they weren't at 11.5.
Yeah, but when you look at, obviously no divisions, but if you look at Texas and Georgia right now, schedules are night and day. Texas' schedule much more difficult.
Yeah.
So I think Georgia's got to be the highest win total in the SEC.
But the past 2 years, Texas has had the easier road more than Georgia. Both Texas and Georgia are 9.5 win totals.
I'd feel pretty good on Georgia. Even though I've picked Texas again to win the national championship, I guess, or I haven't done my 40 and 40 yet, but I may pick them.
You know what's crazy?
I feel more comfortable about Georgia on the win total.
If either one of those goes under, it's a massively disappointing year. If, again, like last year, Texas out at 9-3, if you can't get in the college football playoff at 9-3, maybe you're able to, thread that needle. But if not, those totals go under. Devastating years for those fan bases.
And for those that wonder about win totals, these are your 12 scheduled regular season games. So you don't get credit for winning the SEC championship to go over or any postseason or bowl game. This is your 12 scheduled games.
I saw yesterday, I got a news alert. Oddly, Lance, I was playing golf when this hit. I got a news alert that said Chris Lowe told by an unnamed NFL scout that had he been eligible, Arch Manning would have been a first-round draft pick.
I have that right here.
Okay.
Arch
I didn't mean to jump the script.
No.
He'd be the number 2 quarterback.
I'm about to say, have you looked at this draft?
Cooper Manning said that him leaving early for this year's NFL draft was never discussed in any shape or form. And then the story goes on. It says, one insider tells Chris Lowe that if Arch Manning was in this draft, he would definitely have worked his way through tryouts and things to be a top 5 pick.
Top 5. Okay, now that's different.
So not even the second quarterback, top 5.
Yeah, the news alert I saw said first rounder, and I'm like, my gosh, look at this draft. I thought it would be.
I think 2 teams. I think both the Jets and Arizona would definitely take Arch early on if he was available in this draft, just based on potential name. Like, you can't swing and miss at that one, or you can't not take a shot.
Yeah.
There's no chance Ty Simpson would have gone in front of Arch. But it never seemed like a discussion, just the way he played in September and October.
And in the story, they go on to say, because of the Manning legacy, it was never even discussed. They knew he was going to stay at Texas until he got that degree, and then move on.
I would assume he made close to $8 to $10 million last year. He'll make more this year.
Easily. So Georgia and Texas are the only ones at 9.5. I'll let the cat out of the bag.
Probably right.
Everyone else is 8.5 or worse in the SEC. That's the impact that the 9-game SEC schedule is supposed to have on this league. So talk a little bit about that.
Well, I mean,
9-game SEC schedule impacting the win totals.
I guess you got to look at it through this lens, Lance, as half the conference is going to have one more loss than they normally would, right?
Yeah. And look, and that, definitely one more loss, because on the other side, the game you would have scheduled as opposed to that 9-game would have been a win.
Yeah, you're trading a win for a loss in at least 8 situations. You're trading a win for a loss.
We talked about expectations yesterday. There's 7, 8, 9, 10 teams that believe they're going to win the national championship, and if they don't, they're all going to be upset. But now we're setting our backs up, much like Texas and Georgia with the 9.5 totals. 8.5, I know Alabama's probably 8.5. But if they were to go under, and again, 8-4, I think it's on the table that Kalen DeBoer's not around in 2 years.
That's considered a disaster. Yeah.
Rotoballer.com.
My favorite site.
You guys made fun yesterday.
Yeah.
But remember, they only had 3 SEC teams on.
That's right. In the playoffs, yeah.
And this is how you get to only 3 SEC teams, to have that 9th game impact the win total so much. And then on the flip side of that, you don't have a committee that gauges strength of schedule correctly. Like, I believe this is the year that 9-3 in the SEC will get you in, depending on who you've lost to, but will get you in. I don't think you'll be impacted by being 9-3 this year because of that 9th game, but we'll see.
Well, example, if Texas is 9-3 and Houston's 11-1, who's getting in? Let's say that Texas Tech wins the Big 12 and you've got an 11-1 Houston sitting there.
It should no doubt be the 9-3 SEC team.
Yeah. So I agree with you. I think 9-3 could
if they do it correctly. Before I do the middlings here, in the SEC at the bottom, 3 teams are 4-5, 4.5 in their win total.
And that's the worst in the conference?
That's the worst in the conference. Nobody's at 3.5.
Kentucky, Arkansas, and Mississippi State.
Yep.
Right. There's one team that's at 5.5.
That is going to be South Carolina.
Nope.
Vanderbilt?
It is Vandy. They
still don't believe.
Yeah, just the betting public cannot.
Still do not believe.
Yeah, and
of course, there's a day when Vandy at 5.5, you'd be like, whoa, Vandy's at 5.5.
How are they going to win a conference game?
Yeah, what are we expecting out of Vandy this year?
Yeah, but 5.5 for them. So all those 4 teams have to go over to become bowl eligible. At Vandy, 5-star quarterback Jared Curtis, from the reports coming out of Vandy camp, not necessarily winning their job. They got another kid that transferred in, and I'm not saying he's getting Diego Pavia like love, but it may not be the 5-star guy that wins that job.
Well, I mean, let me ask you guys this. I know y'all aren't big Bryce Underwood fans, but if you would have put Bryce Underwood last year at Vanderbilt, they would have been like a 5 or 6 win team.
That's right.
So I'm just saying, like, as talented as this kid might be, it's going to take an adjustment.
Yeah. He's no Diego Pavia, is what you're saying.
No.
At 6.5, right on the line to either be a bowl team or not a bowl team. South Carolina, Missouri,
and Auburn. Yeah. I think that's fair with Auburn. It feels if I'm a Missouri fan, I'm like, dang.
Yeah. Auburn might sound a bit high for some people.
You weren't going to surprise me if you had Auburn at 5.5, or if Vegas had Auburn at 5.5. 6.5 is probably where they belong. We'll talk a lot about that, but if I'm a Missouri fan, I'm like, is this just our lot in life? Are we always going to be fighting to get 7 or 8 wins under Drinkwitz?
Yeah, and I do wonder if Missouri, Drinkwitz hadn't quite gotten to where Pinkel was.
Nope.
I mean, he's knocking on that door. But if, sooner or later they don't break through, like if Drinkwitz goes the next 3 years without getting to a college football playoff, that sounds insane. I think Missouri fans would be like, it's gotten stale.
the playoff contenders and the people that will probably be most disappointed by not making the playoffs, their win totals after Brownie tells us about our friends with the Birmingham Stallions.
It is the home opener for the Stallions Saturday at Protective. You can help pack Protective for that 3 o'clock kickoff against Orlando. First 5,000 fans through the gates get a free Stallions t-shirt, so it pays to be there a little bit early. Gucci Mane performing at the half, and you can see that as well with your ticket. They started just $15, so there's great deals for kids as well. UFLstallions.com. That is UFLstallions.com to get your tickets to Saturday's 3 o'clock kick is the home opener for the Birmingham Stallions. If you missed A.J. McCarron, you can get that on demand as he talks about his first year as a head coach of the Stallions. But you go see him in person, UFLstallions.com.
Not a great day yesterday. 1 and 2 on our picks at lanceslog.com. All Major League Baseball. All Major League Baseball today. 2 plays. 1 matinee game. First pitch 12:10. So jump on 2 sides. Up and available right now. Major League Baseball. Free play every single day at lanceslog.com. Always brought to you by our friends at Hemp Hill Services. Trust the name. Birmingham has trusted since 1954 for all of your plumbing, heating, cooling issues. Make sure that HVAC system is ready to keep up with this changing weather. You heard Dunaway talk about record highs in the area coming up this weekend. Call 205-229-2090. Adam, Chad, Andrew, the guys there awaiting your call. Hard to stop a train. For more information, hemphillservices.com.
Okay, 4 teams that are at 7.5 win total. And there will be some disappointment here. The one team that probably would not be disappointed is Florida, falls in at 7.5. So if they are 7-5,
good first step.
That's a good first step.
Yeah.
If they are 8 or anything higher, that's a great first year for John Sumrall, in my opinion.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised. I thought Florida would be 6.5. We've talked about the schedule, and Florida, really, really good breakthrough season, 10-2, but they could be down to 6-6. That's a high number, and I agree with you guys, though. I think if Florida goes 8-4 and goes over that total, I think Florida fans are extremely excited.
Yeah, I think 8-4, based on where they have been under Napier. We always say this. It depends on who the 4 are and how those games go. I mean, that's not – always. But if you're competitive against Georgia in the cocktail party or something like that, I think Florida fans will be like, all right, we got our guy. Let's go.
Now, these other 3 that are at 7.5, I mean, that's if you're around that win total going into the last weekend, this is a disappointing season.
Oklahoma
is there.
I mean, Again, we have talked a lot this week about that schedule because of just the way Oklahoma has come up. And that there are 6 losses on that schedule. I'm not saying they're going to go 6-6, but there are 6 losses on that schedule. If they've got the under 7.5, I'm not blown away.
Yeah, but if you go 7-5, that is a massively disappointing year. And normally you're going to get credit for going to a college football playoff. I think it would go the opposite for Venables. I think if you got a 7-5 this year, people would be like, well, yeah, you got to a college football playoff, but they were up 17-0 at home. How did they blow that lead? So 7-5, I could see Venables on a hot seat.
Oh, 7-5, yeah.
I mean, I think they're making a decision.
I agree. I mean, there's going to be a push to get rid of him at that point, and bare minimum, the next season, the 2027 season, might be a job saver for him.
Their spring game is this weekend. Dusty Dvorak, Dusty Danny, Sirius XM, and he may be on with us next week or in the near future to talk Oklahoma. He lives there in Norman, and he reminded me that they played 3 freshman offensive linemen last year. They're all back. Better shape.
Yeah.
Experience now. So really, that's a key to help John Mateer, who was on the run a lot last year.
That's my concern with them, frankly, is Mateer and Arbuckle. It was just the back half of the season wasn't great for them, and I wonder how much of it was Mateer's injury. We talked a lot on this show, though, how much of it was defensive coordinators catching up with Arbuckle. Can he make that adjustment to where he's showing new and different stuff next year?
Well, you guys saw how bad it was 2 years ago, the Oklahoma offense, giving up 50 sacks. And it got better this year, but still they didn't have skill. They couldn't run the football. I mean, it was just a little bit better. So, if you can get better offensive play and they identify some skill guys, I mean, you got to give Mateer a fighting shot. He really didn't have that last year.
Tennessee is there. We've talked about their quarterback problems. Ole Miss is the win total at 7.5.
I figured they would be. It goes under. It's complete disaster. We've got the wrong guy, and Pete Golding could be there for 2 years. I mean, I hate that I've got a hatchet out today and just cutting these guys apart, but I think that's where we are because, you have
it's pre-vacation, Lance. We expect that. Yeah.
But
right.
you get Ole Miss coming off their best season ever, and then Golding takes over as an interim, and they make this little bit of a run in the college football playoff. And if they were to drop to 7-5 and they lose to LSU, Ole Miss fans are going to be pulling their hair out. Like, we finally got there. We lost our coach, and now we've got that.
And we lost our momentum.
Yeah.
So at 8.5, that leaves 3 teams in the SEC: Alabama, LSU, and Texas A&M. And those are the 3 teams that are supposed to be battling to get into the playoffs with Georgia and Texas. I don't know if we can get 5 in the SEC like we did last year, or as Roto Baller reports, 3 to get in.
Man, based on these win totals, if any of these schools go under, it is a disaster year. And those 3 right there, just look at it. LSU with the roster and with bringing Lane Kiffin in, if they were to go 8-4, Texas A&M coming off maybe their best season in school history, 11-1 in the regular season.
It's hard to argue.
Hosting a postseason game, if they were to go 8-4, complete disaster. Yeah. And then we talked about Kayla DeBoer. Wow. I mean, and where these numbers are, Vegas doesn't always get it right, but one of those teams is going to go 8-4.
No, there's no doubt that group you just gave 8-5 or 8.5. At least one of those teams is under.
Yeah,
I mean
could be.
The math just tells you that's probably going to happen.
Alabama, LSU, and Texas A&M. Texas A&M, who's number 1 in recruiting right now. Last time they were number 1 in recruiting was 2022. They've got a good roster back, coming off they made the playoffs, but they were a little disappointed, right, at the ending there with the way that home playoff game disappeared. The offense disappeared.
Was awful, and you saw, what Ruben Bain was able to do in that Miami defense. I think it was 10-3 final score.
Yeah.
But, then Miami goes on a run, and it's a little bit more digestible. But for that offense completely shut down in front of, was that not the biggest crowd? I'm talking numbers, but like the most important game in the history of Kyle Field, it was.
Oh, gosh, yeah. I don't think it was the most important game in Texas A&M's history.
Yeah.
Not Kyle Field or any field.
Yeah, to go, throw up 3 points, that's a problem.
That was a big letdown.
Alabama and Ole Miss, only teams that won a playoff game last year, correct? Georgia didn't win one. Yeah. Texas wasn't in it. Oklahoma lost to Alabama.
A&M lost. Yeah.
And Ole Miss is at 7.5. Alabama's at 8.5. That's the SEC power rankings. A couple of programming notes for you. Cole Best, Auburn Center, coming up at 10:30, midway through hour 2. If you're watching us on replay or if you're listening to our podcast, that's midway through hour 2. Cole Best is coming up. Brooks Carter, our social media director at Next Round Live, had us do our SEC head coaching rankings. I'm going to save that for tomorrow now.
Okay.
I teased it for today. I'm going to save it for tomorrow.
Okay, we're going to need to adjust the headlines.
Yeah, we'll adjust it.
Okay.
We'll adjust it because I want to get to some more of these win totals in our next segment before Cole Best. And we have to get to Cam Coleman. What Cam Coleman said yesterday, he was made available to the media. So we got to get to that as well. So all that's coming up on the show in hour number 2. Before we tell you about Crane U, Tyler, I want to remind everybody that we are at the Talladega Superspeedway, and you can still get tickets for the April 26th Jack Links 500. Just a great way to be part of that. All you have to do is go to their website, TalladagaSuperspeedway.com, TalladagaSuperspeedway.com, and just enjoy a great day here or a great weekend here at the track. You can get the garage experience. You can sit high in one of the tower seats here. You can get close to the track and feel the cars as they go by. Whatever you want to do, infield openings, they've got that for you. It's all right there. TalladagaSuperspeedway.com, TalladagaSuperspeedway.com. And Tyler, let Lance tell us about our friends at Crane U.
My bad. I didn't know we were doing the recordeds today. Let me pull that up.
Oh, that's okay. We'll do it when we come back. That's the Talladega Superspeedway. We'll come back with our friends at Crane U and a lot of others from Talladega Superspeedway right here on the Next Round.
Follow Dunaway on Twitter and Instagram at Jim Dunaway.
I'm attorney Alexander Sherrell, Alabama born, Alabama raised, and ready to fight for your rights. I have one of the largest firms in Alabama, and we are here to help you get the compensation you deserve. Call me, Alabama, 323-1000.
Your representation is made that the quality of legal services be performed is greater than those of other lawyers.
To everyone who craves a fresh meal made just for you, let our team member Jacob share what's special about Culver's.
In Wisconsin, our food comes from the heart, and taking the time to handcraft your meal with care is how we've always done it at Culver's. It's why your Butterburger doesn't touch the grill until after you order.
Come to Culver's and let us serve you a Butterburger made special just for you. From Wisconsin with love, welcome to Delicious.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service.
Remember the name Way to Wellness if you're battling weight loss in your life. I'm Jim Dunaway from The Next Round. There was a time I was over 216 pounds until Way to Wellness helped me lose 45 pounds, and now for over 2 years, they've helped me keep that weight off. Here's their website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. That's a great name for a website because there's no cookie-cutter plan. Everything is designed specifically for you. No contract, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free at Way to Wellness.
Birmingham, it's official. The FIFA World Cup Trophy Tour by Coca-Cola is coming to town. On Thursday, May 7th, head to Uptown from 2 to 6 for your chance to get a free photo with the iconic FIFA World Cup Original Trophy. It's a once-in-a-lifetime moment for fans of all ages. Again, Thursday, May 7th at Uptown from 2 to 6. Your chance to get the free photo with the iconic FIFA World Cup Original Trophy. The FIFA World Cup Trophy Tour by Coca-Cola, because fan work is thirsty work.
When you think of Birmingham, it's hardworking people that go out each and every day to provide for their families, and that's how we want our team and our play on the field. Join us April 18th as we take on the Orlando Storm. United we ride.
The PGA Tour champions are coming back to Greystone. The region's tradition, presented by Coca-Cola, is bringing championship golf April 29th through May 3rd. Watch the game's biggest names battle it out for one of the most prestigious titles on the tour. Experience the atmosphere, the excitement, and a full week of entertainment. This is the week golf fans love. The region's tradition, presented by Coca-Cola, April 29th through May 3rd. Get your tickets now.
Ain't no party like a Dega party. The noise, the chaos, the will to survive. The biggest, boldest, brashest, fastest, and most intimidating track in all of NASCAR. Only one place calls that home. At Talladega, anything can happen. And at this superspeedway, everything usually does. Hell yeah, boys! NASCAR weekend at Talladega Superspeedway, April 24th through the 26th. Get your tickets now at TalladagaSuperspeedway.com.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, The Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
7 days to the NFL draft. We'll get back to college football in just a second. But Mel Kiper dropped his new, I think it's his final one, his final NFL draft projection. 1, 2, 3, 4 Ohio State players in the first 7 picks.
Man, I mean, when you win the national championship, you expect to have guys in the top 5.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, do you think that's going to come up? I know Ryan Day's 1 year removed.
No, but I mean, and it's almost bookable. Arvell Reese, Sonny Styles, Caleb Downs, and Cornell Tate.
Yeah, but he's playing the fact that they didn't win it this past year.
They didn't lift the trophy.
Yeah, but I think he gets a 1 year grace period. I mean, he won it 2 years ago. So
yeah. But I mean, you do watch that, and you're like, oh, so they won the national championship? No, it was Indiana.
And
now
I think,
they're the number
I
one
think you
pick.
brought this up yesterday, right? Did you bring up Daniel Jeremiah about his Jeremiah Love, that he likes him?
Yes.
Better than Jahmyr Gibbs?
It was a bit of I didn't say better than Jahmyr Gibbs.
Okay, that's what I was reading last night,
Yeah.
that DJ actually rates Jeremiah Love higher than he rated Jahmyr Gibbs.
I mean, they're similar. I would say this: Jeremiah Love much more productive on the collegiate level. Now, Gibbs, once he got to the NFL, he's a touchdown machine. But I think Love's going to be better.
Back to our win totals, and then we'll talk. Back to Cam Coleman in college football. After Brownie tells you about our friends at Central State Bank.
That is the bank that is big enough to meet every single need you have, whether it's starting your own business or just buying a car. But they're also small enough to know you. Why is that? Because they're rooted in community. The decision makers that are making the decisions that are going to mold the rest of your financial life, they're people that live in your same city. They go to your same churches. Your kids are at the ball field together. That's who's making decisions for you at Central State Bank. Big enough to know you. Big enough to serve you, small enough to know you, rooted in community. It is Central State Bank, member FDIC.
Before I tell you about UCA, very conceited of you. They're big enough to know you.
Wait a minute.
Urology Centers of Alabama will stay on top of your health. You know what's sad, guys, is that while I'm telling you about UCA right now, somebody in the United States will be diagnosed with prostate cancer. That's how prevalent it is. And that's why our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama can help you out for over 70 years taking care of Central Alabama. You can get all the details about their locations, 10 of them, very convenient to you. UrologyCentersAlabama.com, UrologyCentersAlabama.com, or call that number, 205-930-0920. From prostate health to kidney stones, everything in between. But again, when it comes to your prostate health, early detection will save your life. They do testosterone treatments. They do vasectomies, just a whole menu of things they do for you. And you can see everything they offer at UrologyCentersAlabama.com.
Hey, just because you threw that out there, I think we are telling our audience that we are extremely old without telling them, without actually saying it.
How so?
This is the oldest we've ever looked.
Why?
Look at our footwear.
I've got, so I'm wearing
Very
Long Clouds.
sensible.
Yeah, I've got my Hoka walking
Yeah,
shoes on.
I've got the mall walking, very, very comfortable New Balance, but we all have old men shoes on.
Yeah, the Hokas, the kids wear them. They just don't wear them with pants.
I mean, the women do, yeah.
Yeah. They are the running shoe in America.
They
No,
really
I just
are.
don't run in mine.
Yeah, I was about to say, last time you ran, you didn't run to the mailbox.
I ran to the bathroom as soon as I got here.
Yeah, the first thing. Well, never mind.
But I mean, we do look like three mall walkers.
Yeah.
I tell you what, mine are very comfortable.
Yeah, I don't cross my legs, so I've kept my shoes out of the shot here for that reason. If you look over there, the banner blocks my shoes.
Oh, that's true. I'm happy to sport.
Yeah,
mine.
I don't.
Yeah, I'll put mine right here just so people can see it. Like we're.
I did a
Putting up your free socks.
I did a shoe. This is so bad. I think I've talked about this before, and I won't throw the number out there. But you know, as a kid, you had like 2 or 3 pairs of shoes.
Yeah.
You had dress shoes. You had your one pair of tennis shoes, and you had your cleats, and that was it. I did a full closet turnover with shoes yesterday. Ridiculous. I didn't realize how many, but yeah, crazy.
Ed, back, God, I want to say it was the first time we ever hung out with you. It was 2010 Rose Bowl, 2009 season.
Newport Beach.
Well, that was, I told Jack the other day, because I suck at packing, and that was, I think it was a 7-day trip, but I think I took 11 or 12 pairs of shoes, which is ridiculous.
No, I think
You had a whole suitcase for them.
I think you only took 9 pairs of shoes, and you were complaining about you needed a different pair
Yeah.
to wear to a Lakers game that night. So we got into the conversation, and I was like, "Wait, how many pairs of shoes did you bring?" And you said 9. And but the one you needed was back there, and I looked at Brown. And I was like, "How many pairs of shoes do you own?" Period.
Yeah,
I think I was rolling with 5 at that point.
I've gotten better on packing shoes, but man, that's tough because they take up so much room.
Now, where I go heavy on the golf shoes, I've got 5 pair of golf shoes.
Yeah, you've got those out of rotation. I've got 2.
Yeah.
I've got wet golf shoes and golf shoes.
Yeah, muddy golf shoes and normal golf shoes, right?
Yeah, insanity. All right, Big Ten win totals coming up in a moment. But first, Cam Coleman had a chance to talk yesterday. Cut 10, 11, and 12. The former Auburn wide receiver
Is this going to be a shot at the offense of Auburn? I'm just guessing.
Yeah, let's roll through
Okay.
these and listen in. Cam Coleman at Texas now, if you missed that in the offseason, was with Hugh Freeze's offense 2 full seasons, right? Cam Coleman?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Had 2 full seasons. The first question, cut 10. Was it hard to leave the state of Alabama being an Alabama native?
Cam, being a guy from Alabama, how tough was that to leave the state and pursue other opportunities?
It wasn't hard because sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. So it wasn't really that hard.
Not that hard.
All right.
Gave us a lot of background there.
Yeah, we love you here, Cam. Sorry you left.
This is maybe the reason why it's the first time I've heard Cam Coleman be interviewed. The joke after that soundbite made it onto the socials was he didn't say a whole lot there. Didn't mention they paid him twice of what Auburn was going to pay him.
Well, I mean, that would be a factor in leaving your home state, right?
Yeah. And then the other is Cam Coleman, cut 11, talking about wanting to contend for a national championship.
There's an expectation to win here as a team that is expected to compete for a national championship. How much was that a part of enticing you to come to Texas?
Oh yeah, it really been something on my bucket list, win the national championship. And I'm gonna do what I can to help us win the national championship. So it really just going to work every day and just taking it one step at a time, one day at a time, and just trusting the process.
Trusting the process there is Cam Coleman now at Texas. We'll hear from Arch in just a second about Cam Coleman, what he brings to the table. You can't listen. We joke about him leaving for money. But usage and who was throwing him the football, you can't blame an elite wide receiver like him for being disgruntled and wanting to be in a better offense.
Not at all. I mean, he was underutilized, and it was never more evident than when Hugh Freeze got fired and DJ Durkin changed quarterbacks, and all of a sudden Auburn goes to Vanderbilt, and Cam Coleman looks like, Jerry freaking Rice. And you're like, what? Where has this been for basically a year and a half?
Yeah, if you're Cam Coleman, I mean, this is easy. Not only are you getting more money back to the national championship, I mean, Auburn just isn't going to compete year one for a national championship with Golesh. And the quarterback situation, you are going to be playing with maybe the number 1 overall pick, a Manning, moving forward. So, to play with an elite quarterback, to get more touches, to maybe win a national championship, to get more money, I mean, it's a no-brainer.
Yeah. So Arch Manning is cut 12 here. And Arch Manning, who, by the way, update for camp on Arch Manning, they're taking it slow. He's not at full speed, not a full participant, but Arch tells everybody that if they had a game Saturday, he'd be a go in the game. So he'd be ready to play, but they're taking it slow right now. But cut 12, Arch gets asked about his impression of Cam Coleman now on his wide receiving core.
What's your thoughts been on Cam and just what he can bring to this offense this fall?
Yeah, he's an elite player, and he wants to be good, which is the most encouraging thing. He's a hard worker, and I'm excited.
What role did you play in recruiting him? He said you were part of it. What did you tell him when he was?
Yeah, actually, everyone was like, "Oh, I went to dinner with him," blah blah blah. But it was really Ryan Wingo who went to dinner with him. I had to go to dinner with some linemen who actually ended up not coming. So really, Ryan's the hero of that recruitment.
That's pretty good.
Well, that's another factor. You're playing with right now a one in Wingo that protects you, so you'll get a lot of one-on-one coverage. And now I think Cam Coleman will ultimately be the one, but Ryan Wingo's really, really good.
Yeah, he is. I mean, you got 2 ones to your point on that team, which is a good place to be. I mean, it's again, I don't know anybody. I know Auburn fans hated to lose Cam Coleman. I think if they can step back and be reasonable about it, they're like, I get it. I mean, I get it. You're leaving a place that just changed coaches to go to a place that's a contender for the national championship. You've probably got 1 year of college football left. Could he have done great things at Auburn? Perhaps. He and Byrum Brown could have made a great connection. Who knows? But how does anybody look at that situation and blame Cam Coleman for doing it?
Wouldn't it be fun, though, if we had free agency as far as, trades?
I mean, do we not? Oh, yeah. Trades.
Yeah,
okay.
Trades and even a draft somehow. Like, if you're going to NIL and this is what you're worth, then – you're going to be a first rounder, and we've got this kind of money for the first round.
If Auburn had signed Cam Coleman, say, to a a 3-year NIL deal. And if he goes to Texas, Texas has it, which I've always said this would
makes the most sense.
This would slow down the transfers. There are some steps you have to take before you can get to this, but Texas would have had to pay Auburn $3 million, $4 million for Cam Coleman. Auburn, why you don't want to lose Cam Coleman? You tell me Alex Goelsh wouldn't be like, oh, I got $3 more million here to spend.
Yeah. Maybe we'll get to that someday. But that's a little Cam Coleman at Texas getting a chance to talk to the media. We'll jump into these win totals again and then get to Cole Best Auburn Center coming up in our next segment as we broadcast from the Talladega Superspeedway, TalladagaSuperspeedway.com to get tickets for the racing. Tell us, guys, about Inverness Country Club. Brown's in jeans today. Not playing today, Brown.
Not today. So my run's going to end 3 straight days playing 18 holes. We got to take a day to rest up here, but I was there yesterday. Course is in fantastic shape, by the way. We have not had a lot of rain around here, but the superintendent staff, the greenskeepers, they have been doing a tremendous job at Inverness to keep it in great shape and looking still green without the rain.
Yeah, and that great grill. Did you happen to get anything to eat yesterday?
I did not. Oh, well, I got a wrap when I got out there.
Okay.
Yeah, a little turkey wrap.
Great food. They've got memberships that fit everyone. On-site childcare is so big. Maybe you work from home. What about working from the club while they watch your kid? Best days happen at the Inverness Country Club. Maybe you relocated to retired. Great place to network is Inverness, from the social club or to the social membership, the racket membership, golf, of course. For more information and to tour this club, go to ICCalabama.com. That is ICCalabama.com.
All right. Let's do some Big Ten win totals. Before we talk about the players in the league, down at the bottom of the league, Purdue, the lowest win total of the maybe
Power
all
four?
the Power Four.
Yeah, I wouldn't believe it.
2.5?
3.5.
That's a program stuck in mud and going nowhere. Not even spinning the wheels to get out.
Michigan State, 3.5.
Wow. Pat Fitzgerald's first year, I really thought that the Jonathan Smith era would be a lot better, and I thought he would have used that to get another job somewhere else. Boy, that's a low total.
Boy, a lot of people, though, tell me they got the Rocket Mortgage guy, so they got NIL. But here we are with, we'll see if he can dig out of this hole.
Well, if I'm Michigan State, if I'm one of the boosters, I'm like, again, I'm pointing to Indiana, but I'm like, how in the hell are we this bad?
But isn't that what you've always heard?
Yeah.
They've got that, I can't remember the guy's name.
Is it Dan Gilbert?
Yeah, it is Dan Gilbert, right, that owned the Cavs. And they're like, they've got plenty of NIL money. Well, their win totals don't show that they do, or they're spending it on way the wrong people.
Maryland, 4.5.
That will get Mike Loxley fired.
Yeah, he almost got fired this year. They probably didn't have enough to buy him out.
Northwestern's opening up their new stadium, 5.5. Ryan Field, I think it's called. They would keep the name, 5.5.
And Dave Braun's done a good job there. 6-6, I think, year in, year out, you take that.
Yeah.
Team, you've had this team as a linchpin on a couple of whether or not a team can have a good year or not. Minnesota, 5.5.
Yeah. Again, I would guess PJ Fleck has averaged about 7.5 wins, which, is overachieving at Minnesota.
Yep.
It is.
They can't get offense right. The defense has
been
been so good, but the offense is just not good.
6.5. So this is the same place Auburn, Missouri, South Carolina was in the SEC. UCLA with Nico Amalieva back again, second year in the system.
Year one for Bob Chesney, though.
But a new quarterback.
But I tell you, man, that goes over the total for Bob Chesney.
That's a good step forward. Yeah, that's like we talked about with Sumrall. I think the UCLA fan base, all 10 of them, would be like, all right, this guy's got us some life.
They did bring a lot of the players with him.
He did the Signetti?
Like Signetti did.
Boy, that is a haul because he was Signetti's replacement at James Madison.
That's right.
That is a haul to go all. It's one thing to go to Bloomington, Indiana, but to go all the way out to L.A., that's crazy.
Wisconsin is at 6.5. If
that may keep Fickle.
If Fickle gets to 7, that's a step forward.
Well, when we did that exercise earlier this week on guys that could be let go mid-season, I brought up Fickle, and if you're going to do it, his last 4 games are all winnable. So I think he's going to have trouble early on, but I could see him get to 6-7 wins, but it would be on that backside. So if you do want to get rid of him, you're going to want to do it in season.
A guy that I had further on my list, I had him at 5 when we were doing 5 the other day. I only gave out 3. Nebraska's at 6.5. Dylan Raiola is gone to Oregon as a backup after breaking his fibula. He's had some bad luck with Riola's injury last year and some close losses.
Yeah, still can't win one-possession games.
Yeah, close losses.
And listen, we've made no bones about the fact that we are fans of Matt Rule and want him to succeed. But if they're at that number right there.
Yeah, and there's a double-down situation, too. Nebraska basketball is good, and Indiana football is good. You know, so I mean,
we've lost everything.
So if you're a Nebraska fan, you are like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah.
So that's the bottom. We'll go to the top now. They do have two. Unlike the SEC, they've got two that are 10.5 win totals.
It's going to be.
Is that the highest? That's not the highest.
That is the highest.
Oh, it's got to be.
No
this is interesting because it's going to be Ohio State, Indiana, or Oregon. I am going to go that it is going to be Ohio State and Indiana.
I think he's right. I think he's right about that.
It is Indiana and Oregon at 10.5. Ohio State's win total is 9.5.
That's a brutal schedule.
Yeah, we talked about it yesterday. That is normally you just lock Ohio State in. They may drop one, but they're going to be 11-1 in the playoffs.
Yeah, if I'm Ryan Day, I use this for motivation. Like everybody believes we're going to lose 3 games.
That's right. You do what Kirby used to do. It's like they say we're going to have 7 wins.
They got the best player in college football in Jeremiah Smith.
Yeah, 9-3. Well, I'm 9-3 with that schedule. Might get them in.
Might get them in.
Yeah,
might get them in. Penn State is also 9.5 with Rocco Beck now the quarterback. That is a big number to get it in Happy Valley.
They got some belief in Matt Campbell, don't they? Right away,
because they lost some really good players to the portal to Virginia Tech, guys that like James Franklin, that coaching staff that went with them. He brought some from Iowa State, but I'm not sure that is, the same currency.
But your best players were arguably in that backfield with Singleton and Allen. Both those guys are on to the NFL right now, so you're kind of resetting there.
Quarterback too. Aller's gone.
Yeah, but I think you might be upgrading a quarterback.
Maybe. I was going to say with Rocco, can you get Rocco 2024 or you get Rocco last year? And Matt Campbell, we don't know. This is weird because he's coached for a Big 12 championship game or in a Big 12 championship game for the right to go to a college football playoff. But this is a big-time job. Like, how does he make that transition?
Yeah. I think I would take Rocco Becht over what I saw in Drew Aller.
I would too.
Yeah, so I think you upgraded at quarterback in the transfer.
8.5. USC is there. If they're 8-4, I think that's going to be a disappointment.
Very disappointing.
Yep.
9-3 could get them into the playoffs.
Yeah.
8.5.
But I think if it goes under the total, much like some of these SEC coaches, Lincoln Riley is going to be on a massively hot seat going into 2027.
At 8-4, that fan base will be.
It's not good enough. I mean, 9-4 last year. I mean, they were definitely improved, but you got to keep going up.
Michigan is at 8.5, and it's not an easy schedule.
It is not. We've looked at it, and Kyle Whittingham in his first year. I mean, it is hard to know what to expect.
Yeah, I think under the total, I think fans are really, really disappointed. I think if it goes over, though, with that schedule, if you're 9-3 in year one, I think you're trending in the right direction.
Washington is 7.5. I think they think this is the year they get back to DeBoer like win total, so that would be a disappointment. Iowa is 7.5. Kirk Ferentz.
I think
still
that
back.
almost their win total every single year.
I think when Vegas starts, they start with Iowa 7.5.
Yep.
We work out from there for the rest of college football.
Brett Bielema 7.5 at Illinois. I mean, they lose a lot, but he sort of made it look like the last couple of years that he had it churning in a good direction. That seems to be a little mid for me.
Man, that just seems like such a difficult job.
I agree completely with you.
And he's done a really good job there.
It was like he fought to get to 9 wins and play South Carolina in a bowl game.
Yeah, and that's what they'll probably do every year.
Some of the ACC and the Big 12 here, right after we tell you about our friends at Michelson Laser Vision. We'll do the viewing menu coming up in a little bit, but tell us about Michelson.
Yeah, 205-969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, best in the business. Make the phone call that I made way back in 2003, 205-969-8100. Ask for Amy. Tell her the next round sent you. She's going to hook you up with a hassle-free consultation. 0 to lose to find out if LASIK is right for you. 205-969-8100 or michelsonlaservision.com.
So we've got an independent 11.5. We've got a Big 12 11.5 in Texas Tech. We've got 0 SEC teams at 11.5 or 10.5, the highest being 9.5 in Georgia and Texas. We've got 2 Big 10s at 10.5, Indiana and Oregon. Ohio State's 9.5. And we've got 1 ACC team at 10.5, and it's Miami. We
It's
looked at
just
that schedule. You thought it could be 11.5 even.
Such a manageable schedule. Really, there is a chance, and this depends on what Clemson does, but there is a chance that Notre Dame's the only ranked team they play all year.
Yeah,
and that's pretty remarkable.
And much like a lot of these fan bases, if they go under the total, I don't know if they get back in at 10-2. If they win the ACC, obviously they do. But with that schedule, I think 11-1 is very doable. And if they were to drop below that and not make a college football playoff after playing for a national championship, and in my opinion, I like Carson Beck, but I think you're getting an upgrade with Mensah at quarterback. I think Miami fans think that they're back finally.
Do you think there's Miami huge gap to the rest of the ACC?
I would say your second win total team, would it be SMU in the ACC?
SMU or Louisville.
Can you believe we're not saying Clemson, but I don't think it's going to be them.
I don't think it's going to be Clemson either.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be SMU or Louisville.
Okay, let me show you the gap in the ACC.
Yeah, but I think it would go all the way down to 8.5.
It is 10.5 Miami, no 9.5 win totals, 8.5 win totals SMU, and that's it.
That's all.
That's it.
So
then you're 7.5 with Clemson, Louisville, and Virginia.
I mean,
How about Virginia?
Yeah. Tony Elliott's done it. I mean, he's turned it around. I mean, that is crazy to think that SMU, how has Rhett Lashley done this? He has turned them into the second best team in that conference.
He's got Jennings back at quarterback
I know,
for
but
the third year.
I'm just saying he's already gone to a playoff and then kept them in contention, and now Vegas is saying that's your second best team. I mean, he's turned that into the second best program in the ACC.
I think retention has been really good for him.
Yeah.
Like I can't, you guys help me out. I can't recall a lot of, hey, formerly played at SMU.
Right. I think they got a pretty good NIL. It's pretty robust.
Seems like he's done a pretty good job
They
there.
had NIL before NIL was cool, don't forget.
You didn't mention one team, though, Florida State. I mean, Mike Norvell.
6.5 Florida State, 6.5 Georgia Tech, and 6.5 James Franklin at Virginia Tech. I mean, 6-6 at Virginia Tech this year would be a disappointment with what he's brought in.
But still, you can stomach it because it's year one.
Building.
But if you get a 6-6 at Florida State,
Georgia Tech spring game this weekend, it'll be interesting to see what they look like without Haynes King. He got him out of a lot of bad jams. And then you mentioned Florida State at 6.5. I don't have all the ACCs here. Those are just the highlights. One other ACC team that is always of interest, Bill Belichick in North Carolina. Where do you think that win total is?
5.5?
I would go 4.5.
It is 4.5.
Man,
that's Bill Belichick's win total in year 2.
That's with Bobby Petrino coming in.
I mean,
North Carolina.
I bet you his AFC East win total was normally 4.5.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, 6 games.
Yeah.
Game AFC East schedule was at 4.5.
In the Big 12, I told you Texas Tech's 11.5. If you think there's a gap there in the ACC, 11.5. They're next. They have no 10.5s, no 9.5s.
So I would go BYU and Houston at 8.5.
BYU and Utah 8.5. Houston and Arizona 7.5. Arizona State, Baylor, who Auburn plays 6.5, and those are the ones I wrote down.
I will tell you, man, Kenny Dillingham, who was everybody's golden boy at this time last year, he did have injuries with both Jordan Tyson and Sam Levitt, two of his best players, if not his best players. But if they were to drop back that much this year,
and if Arizona has passed them, that'll look different for Kenny Dillingham, who did not take a job last year. It was very vocal on a couple of them and ended up trying to get more money and a different contract there at Arizona State. Those are the win totals that I wrote down there from our friends at FanDuel. And again, tomorrow we'll do our SEC head coaching rankings. Before we hear about Crane U, I want to remind you, Talladega Superspeedway, behind the glass. Brown, can you stand up and just pull that back? I know
I'll be
it's
happy
blind
to.
everybody.
Yep, it is. Scott's going to love you for this.
Yeah, just are we on auto iris?
I don't know. No, we're not. Okay. Which one? You want this one?
Yeah, just pull it open real quick.
Okay.
Yeah. Just to show everybody where we are, what we have happening here.
Yeah, boy, this is.
So everybody in this booth has binoculars, right?
Yep.
Because that is a big ass track.
That is a big track. Do they give Emmys for stuff like this, you think?
Hey, you know what would be a great internal
Are you guys in
promotion they could
heaven?
do?
What's that?
The Tough Man competition.
Yeah.
Like if you had the toughest man from Friday through Sunday and you just had a round robin tournament in the infield.
Yeah.
I think it'd be incredible.
Scott, how did that look there? Was that very
I think you guys are in heaven. Literally.
Yes. Oh, thank goodness.
Just a bright glare.
Yeah, the
there it is
pearly
right there.
gates
What's that?
Are back there.
Yeah. What is that movie where they send the good-looking dude to the sun?
Jim, I don't know.
It's out right now.
Oh, Project Hail Mary.
Project Hail Mary.
Project Hail Mary, yeah.
Good-looking dude to the song.
He considered
that is what happens.
Sexiest men alive. Tyler, did you say something?
Yeah, I said that is what happens in the movie. It's an accurate description. Ryan Gosling gets put in space.
Yeah, so that's accurate by me. Very bright sunlight. We'll readjust the cameras. We'll get things back up. But let's head to break here and hear Lance tell us about the we're at Talladega first. Let me tell you about Talladega Superspeedway. Get your tickets, TalladegaSuperspeedway.com. TalladegaSuperspeedway.com. Garage experience. They got camping. They got the infield and all that fun. So enjoy the unpredictability of the high banks, the world's fastest speedway at Talladega. TalladegaSuperspeedway.com to get tickets. Race weekend is April 24th through the 26th. Sunday, April 26th is the Jack Links 500. LT, now tell us about Crane U.
Crane U.
Curious about a career in the crane industry? The first big step is getting certified and becoming fully compliant. And Crane U, our friends, they are here to guide you every step of the way. Crane U is your all-in-one destination for crane certification success. They guide you through every step of the process, from comprehensive preparation, both in and out of the classroom, to ensure you're fully equipped for even the toughest exams. Then they streamline your experience by administrating both the written and hands-on test right here at their facility, so you can get certified with confidence and convenience. For more information, craneuonline.com. That is craneuonline.com.
Follow LT on Twitter at @TheLanceTaylor.
I'm attorney Alexander Sherrell, Alabama born, Alabama raised, and ready to fight for your rights. I have one of the largest firms in Alabama, and we are here to help you get the compensation you deserve. Call me, Alabama, 323-1000.
Your representation is made that the quality of legal services being performed is greater than those of other lawyers. To everyone who craves a fresh meal made just for you, let our team member Jacob share what's special about Culver's.
In Wisconsin, our food comes from the heart, and taking the time to handcraft your meal with care is how we've always done it at Culver's. It's why your Butterburger doesn't touch the grill until after you order.
Come to Culver's and let us serve you a Butterburger made special just for you. From Wisconsin with love, welcome to Delicious.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service.
Birmingham, get ready to pregame with the Birmingham Legion FC at the Coca-Cola Soccer Block Party May 7th from 2 to 6 at Protective Stadium. Bring the whole family for music, giveaways, and tons of family football fun for free from 2 to 6 May 7th at Protective Stadium. After the party, the Birmingham Legion FC takes on Miami FC with kickoff at 7 o'clock. Tickets for the match are available at bhmlegion.com. Come kick it at Protective May 7th with the Birmingham Legion FC and enjoy ice-cold Coca-Cola, because fan work is thirsty work.
The PGA Tour champions are coming back to Greystone. The region's tradition, presented by Coca-Cola, is bringing championship golf April 29th through May 3rd. Watch the game's biggest names battle it out for one of the most prestigious titles on the tour. Experience the atmosphere, the excitement, and a full week of entertainment. This is the week golf fans love. The Region's Tradition, presented by Coca-Cola, April 29th through May 3rd. Get your tickets now.
When you think of Birmingham, it's hardworking people that go out each and every day to provide for their families, and that's how we want our team and our play on the field. Join us April 18th as we take on the Orlando Storm. United we ride.
Ain't no party like a Dega party. The noise, the chaos, the will to survive. The biggest, boldest, brashest, fastest, and most intimidating track in all of NASCAR. Only one place calls that home. At Talladega, anything can happen. And at this superspeedway, everything usually does. Hell yeah, boys! NASCAR weekend at Talladega Superspeedway, April 24th through the 26th. Get your tickets now at TalladagaSuperspeedway.com.
Hey, by the way, yesterday the NCAA Division I cabinet got together about the 5-year eligibility. 5 years. 5 years to play 5 years.
That's right. Basically, no fair dodging.
And no red shirting, no waivers, any of that stuff.
Yeah, there's 3 waivers: maternity leave, military service, or religious mission. That's it.
Yeah, those are
for now until it gets sued.
Yeah, but that's they got together yesterday. They took no formal stance on it. They just sent it back and said continue to have the discussion with stakeholders.
One of the big issues is they're trying to determine what to do with people who have just completed year 4. Would they be granted another year of eligibility?
Yeah, the people right now?
The people that just finished year 4, like if this passes tomorrow.
That is why
Aberdeen just finished year 4. Yeah.
That's why I brought up Aberdeen
That's right.
earlier this week at Florida. He should be allowed to play. If
And
you do that, you got to grandfather people in.
And apparently they can't figure out how to do that.
Yeah, but just do it.
I know, I agree.
Grandfathered in. I mean,
did it in COVID.
Well, did it. We did it when I was 18, and Alabama's drinking age was 18. I was December birthday, and they passed it, and I was grandfathered in when it was 19, and then it was 21, and I was legal to drink from December 17th on.
God, you imagine that person that had that 1 day cutoff?
Yeah,
they just missed it. You got to wait 3 years now.
No, that would be horrible. All right. One other thing I wanted to get to before what was it? Oh, it's Morgan Wallen over at Tuscaloosa. Bryant-Denny Stadium. The concert's Saturday night. By the way, some rain in the forecast.
Oh, finally.
Yeah, some rain in the forecast Saturday night.
I hate it for Morgan and the fans, but I'll take the rain.
And it's sped up a little bit, so it may be getting there around start of the concert. I think the concert starts at 5:30. Ella Langley in the rain. Not a bad look, in my opinion, but get there early for Ella Langley as she gets out there. I'm choosing her again.
Yeah. Alabama's own.
Yeah, exactly. And then Morgan Wallen. Here's 102.5 The Bull radio station here in Birmingham. They were over there watching the setup. Look at the setup at Bryant-Denny Stadium, man. It takes a lot. All right, this was yesterday. It got the cranes out to get things set up for the staging and everything.
I am shocked that tickets aren't like in high demand.
That's
I mean, do you believe that? We were just told before that there's still like tickets for sale. I thought this thing would have sold out in a week.
I think you're talking about, when you talk about people on the field and everything, I think you're talking about 90,000 seats.
Yeah, I would
90,000.
Yeah, based on where that is, I would say you probably butts and stands could get 60 to 65.
I mean, look, that's a lot of people going to a concert, but look, you have stadium tours for a reason, right?
Yeah.
Well,
I'm saying that's seated.
Yeah, he walks out the stage.
Yeah.
And they're seating here
Okay.
as well.
Yeah. So maybe 75, 80, and then you have another 20 on the field.
Because when I was thinking about going, those were the seats I was thinking about right
Slide
there.
stage.
Yeah, it was just that was $100.
Well, have you checked back in? Because I mean, apparently, if
I don't know if I'm available Saturday or not.
Okay.
Too much golf.
I got golf Friday and Sunday. Saturday is a recoup day.
Real quick, he's got to rest. He's got to get his whoop back up.
I got Jason Isbell tonight though, at Lyric.
Oh, really? He's at Lyric.
Yeah.
Oh,
absolutely. Intimate show.
Him
and a guitar.
My daughter has fallen in love with soccer. She's playing right now, and I scoped some World Cup tickets. Holy crap! She's a big Ronaldo. That's her guy. Is Ronaldo, and they're in Houston.
So I mean, what are you talking? 1,000 a ticket?
I wish get-ins for Ronaldo in Houston were like 3,000.
My gosh,
for get-ins at that big stadium, the NFL stadium,
to see no score.
And yeah, I mean, you might see a 1-0 game, and who knows how much. I mean, I guess Ronaldo plays. That's an actual World Cup game.
Oh yeah, this is what they rest up for.
Yeah,
what they sit for.
I thought we'll watch that on TV.
Before we get to Auburn center Cole Best, that coming up here in a second, LT is going to tell us about our friends at Hoover Toyota.
Yeah, great place to, not only their selection, also their on-site finance department. Speaking from experience, I've bought multiple cars over the last year plus. One for my daughter, one for myself. Absolutely loving the Land Cruiser. If you're looking for reliability, you're looking for safety, you're looking for something that holds its value, that is the definition of Toyota. Get in, see Scott and all the fine folks located Highway 150 to check out more about the red carpet program that they've been doing for over 20 years, making sure you're a customer for life. And the on-site finance department, the great inventory. Go to hoovertoyota.com.
All right, Auburn's spring game is Saturday as well, 3 o'clock Central Time, Jordan-Hare Stadium. Monday, right after they walked out of some post-practice meetings, we had a chance to catch up with Auburn Center transfer from South Florida, Cole Best. Here's our chat with the new Auburn Center.
Sorry, we're running into some issues back here.
Oh, no, we got issues with Cole?
All right.
What do you want us to do, Tyler?
What are we doing?
He wants us to talk, I assume.
Yeah, that would help. Well, I told you about the by Floribama. I was writing down I was listening to Sirius XM.
Yep.
Prime Country 58. That's always my choice on Sirius XM. It's my main channel.
Yeah. No Shoes Radio.
No Shoes Radio is Kenny Chesney's channel, right? And she's like, hey, don't forget this weekend, Kenny Chesney live from the Floribama on No Shoes Radio. You can hear the concert. For those of you that don't know what the Floribama is, it's and then she's just like stumbling through. She's like, it's really hard to explain what the Floribama is.
It's not really. Once you've been there, you can probably explain it. Now, I did
go
hear
see it for yourself, is what she said.
I did see in 1985. It was tourism, state tourism. I think it was Alabama. Maybe it was Florida State Tourism. It could be either one. And it was, we're going to take you behind the scenes of the Floribama. And they walked you where you could stand on the state lines and stuff, and then explained about the whole property they owned and all of that. So it was pretty cool to see the throwback from 1985. And the thing that queued up right after that on YouTube was a Disney a tour of all the Walt Disney properties when that was being opened. I think it was in the 70s when that tourism
a little different than the Floribama.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
So this weekend with Kenny Chesney, that's a Sirius XM event. I guess it's for
it's not going to be
live.
Yeah, it's not going to be out on the beach though. I don't think. I think it's more of an intimate setting.
300 tickets, I think.
300 tickets.
Oh wow!
That's all they've got now. You
can
can
on the beach.
No, you can obviously hang out on the beach. You can pull your boat up. You can listen. Like I think they're going to have the ability to have the sound out there.
Yeah.
At least that's what I was told.
But I think it was Sirius XM subscribers. I think you had to get it through Sirius XM. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so he's not out on the beach again.
Yeah, they're carrying it live at 3 o'clock, and I thought it was going to be like it was the last time on the beach.
I
with
did too initially.
People.
I did too initially until I heard this. Yeah. So
I texted Steve, our buddy Steve Powers, and because this week I just imagined he was
what's he doing?
A little bit in the weeds and stuff. So I texted him. I was like, hey, I just heard, and I had no intention of going. I got plans on Saturday, but I said, hey, man, I just heard Kenny Chesney on the 18th. Can you get me 20 up close, like row one?
I would love to read that response.
Now, if you did get tickets, would you go?
If I had a choice, and this is going to be stupid, okay? If I had a choice, I would 100% choose Kenny Chesney at the Floribama over Morgan Wallen and Bryant-Denny.
Well, I don't listen to either. I would go to the Floribama as well.
Yeah, just location.
I think there would be something cool about going to first ever concert though at Bryant-Denny.
Yeah.
True.
Oh, it would be, but to see Morgan Wallen with 90,000 people in a stadium will be awesome. I'm not saying it's not going to be. To be in one of the Floribama rooms, I assume they're in the dome.
They are in the dome. And they are
are
streaming it, by the way, so you can watch it live.
Yeah. So 300 people that close to Kenny Chesney in that environment and things like that. I think he just played in Tortuga, the Tortuga Festival down in Florida. To come there and him be, already into the beach mode and ready to have a good time at the Floribama, I think that would be the place to be at the Floribama.
Wouldn't be bad. I'd like a bushwhacker. All right, Auburn spring game over the weekend after our delay game. Here is new Auburn center Cole Best.
All right, we're joined now by Auburn center Cole Best, transfer from South Florida, first season at Auburn. Welcome in, Cole. How are you today?
I'm doing great. Appreciate you guys having me on.
Man, we appreciate you coming on. Obviously, when your head coach leaves and goes to another place, it makes sense you transfer there. But was it more than just that you decided that Auburn was the best place for you?
Yeah, so for me, my situation was a little bit unique. I didn't really know at the time when it happened if I had that extra year or not. We were waiting to hear back from the NCAA about my waiver and if I was going to get that extra year of eligibility. But I knew right then and there that wherever he went, that I was going to, go with him because I owe it to that guy and I owe it to this staff. And then, when we found out that it was Auburn, that was even more incentive. Like, man, talk about ending it the right way and getting to go play in the best conference in college football and, getting to elevate the competition I'm going against every day in practice and Indy and everything that we do. So, I came up here once I got that extra year. I went on my visit, fell in love with the place. I love the town, the people. It's definitely more my speed. So that was just, kind of stacked on to more reasons as to why I wanted to come here.
I came across an article recently, and it just said Cole Best is alpha as they come. I know offensive linemen love hearing that. I'm sure Auburn fans love hearing a transfer as alpha as they come. Do you already consider yourself, though, only being on campus a few months, a leader of this team?
Absolutely. So at our last spot, that was kind of what I prided myself on, is being a leader and being the same guy every day, regardless of whether I was a starter or not. Just be a leader, be a guy that people can look up to. And so when I came here, it was my first time in my entire life going into a new school, a new environment, a new team. And I knew that when I came here, there was some steps that I had to take. And number one, that's me being right with everything I do, my attitude, the accountability I have for myself, the way I work in the weight room, on the field, all that. But I also knew that I had to connect and build authentic relationships with all the guys on this team around me. So that was the first thing I did was, at breakfast, lunch, dinner, find a new guy that I don't know, that I haven't really met, and sit down with him, kind of hear his story, connect with them, and, building those real relationships on top of everything I do on the field and in the weight room. That's how you build real trust. And I didn't want to come in here and just be the guy that was going to be, demanding stuff from guys that I didn't even know. That relationship piece was huge to me. So I worked really hard at that at first and definitely could feel the respect from my peers and my coaches. And, I'd say within the first couple weeks here, I'd kind of established myself in that role. And we have something here we call a leadership council, and that is completely voted on by the players. The coaches have no say who is in that. And I believe we did that only about a month or two into being here, and I got picked to be on that leadership council. And so I knew that, I kind of had that respect from my teammates, my peers, and was looked at as a leader. So then from there, it was just being myself every day and continue being who I am and what I believe in and what I do.
Coach Golesh has really sold us, and the fans are buying in on the fact that Byrum Brown and you coming together just speeds up the whole process of just learning the offense to the new guys. And I think Cole Skinner is also a USF guy with you. Tell me how it all speeds up, that you guys maybe can help the install with the other guys who didn't play under this system last year.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'll start with those quarterbacks in this offense, in this system. They got a really hard job. They got a lot on their shoulders, a lot they're responsible for. So for having a guy like Byrum who knows this thing inside and out in that room, that's huge in terms of getting those younger quarterbacks and guys that haven't been in this system on the same page. Because, it's really different when you hear it from a coach and an install from a coach versus a player and someone who's out there doing this day to day or year to year in this case. And for me, in our room, in the offensive line room, as well as Cole Skinner, that was monumental, having guys here, because we don't have an easy job on the O-line either. We go really fast. We got to process stuff and we got to go. Like, we got to snap down, snap the ball, and go. So having guys like me and Cole Skinner in here to kind of show the younger guys, give them tips, be in their ear every day, and also backing them up with positive reinforcement, because, we have a hard job and the coaches' jobs are to fix it, correct it, and move on. And I've experienced it as a young guy too. And even now, there's days where you just feel like, man, coach is on me. I can't do anything right. So by kind of having guys that know what it's supposed to look like, I can think of multiple guys in our room that I've pulled aside, like, man, you're doing a great job. You're catching on to this. Like, it's clicking. You just got to keep going. Don't get discouraged. So having guys like Byrum in that quarterback room, Cole Skinner and I in this room, and guys all over, I think it's huge. It's kind of almost like a secondary coach, if you will, but from a different perspective.
Cole Best is with us. He's the Auburn center. He's on the Alexander Shinara Trial Attorneys Hotline. The Auburn spring game down at Jordan-Hare Stadium, 2 o'clock Saturday. At Jordan-Hare, 2 o'clock Saturday. Festivities all day around the spring game, but the game itself, 2 o'clock down at Jordan-Hare. Alex Goelsh, he's been on our show. We play a lot of sound bites of him. Comes across as a pretty chill guy. I know football coaches like to chew a little tail. Is he a good tail chewer? Have you gotten a good tail chewing out of Alex Goelsh?
Oh yeah, I can think back to my very first spring with him at South Florida. That was the first time I'd ever had a head coach get on to me like that. I think we were in some team period, and I was trying to think of 100 different calls in my head to make. I was playing center, and the quarterback clapped, and I didn't snap the ball. And he came running off from behind, and gave me a good talking to, and it was all from a place of love and wanting me to be better. And I'm like, man, he can get fired up. But he was also the first guy right after practice to call me up to his office and sit down and talk with me and, love me up and explain as to, why he was doing it and that he needs me to be the leader of this offense and that it all starts with me as the center. So yeah, he can definitely get after you, but it always comes from a true place of love, and it comes from the right place.
He seems like he's just got great command, attention to detail. But if there was something you were going to tell us about your head coach that maybe we don't know, something that jumps out that you've learned over the last couple of years, what would that be?
The biggest thing that sticks out to me would just be his relationship with his players, and that's from top to bottom. So my first 2 years of college football didn't have that, and I just thought that's what a head coach was. I thought, they're up here, we're here, and kind of the coordinator and the position coaches are responsible for getting to know you and coach you up and build relationships. But from the day that he got there, I mean, every player on the roster, he is, constantly in the locker room, around the facility, talking to guys, football, not football stuff, family, whatever it is you have going on, and really just building authentic relationships. Anytime you go walk by his office, his door's open. I'd like to say that every guy in this building would feel comfortable walking into his office and, talking to him about whatever. And so that's something that's huge for me, is he is a resource and somebody that can be there for you that you feel comfortable going to.
Listen, I'm not saying you got to be a Heisman finalist or win the Remington, but you're going to have to be pretty good to be the best Cole ever to play center at Auburn. We got a buddy, Cole Kublick, we used to work with across the street over here, that's a former center. In all seriousness, though, Coach Golesh has been welcoming back all the former Auburn players. How important is that, do you think, having the Cam Newtons and the Tikio Spikes around the program to sort of give some of the new guys the lay of the land, the flavor of the program from the glory days?
Man, I think it's huge. It's one of my favorite things that he's done here. Well, one of the heavy emphasis that he put on was, the Iron Bowl, the fourth quarter. He brings these alumni and these guys that played here, did that, won national championships, you name it. He brings them up in practice to kind of talk to us about what it meant to them to play that team, or what it meant to them to finish in the fourth quarter. And just last week we had Mr. Reese here, who played center here at Auburn, won the Remington. And, he got a chance to stand up in front of the O-line room and talk to us. And I got a chance to really connect and talk with him. And I think it's huge, because we're all family in a way. We've all played here. When you put that jersey on, you're all family. And I think that talking to the guys that have accomplished huge things here and that have played here, it means everything, and I think it kind of gives us a moment to kind of take a step back. And because, we're so used to being in it and just laser focused on what we're doing. And it allows you to kind of take a step back and think about how important that this program is to so many people and what it means to them and what we're really fighting for every day.
Our introduction to the Iron Bowl period in practice, Cole, was the song Dixieland Delight by Alabama playing. Have you heard that song enough that it upsets you now? Where do you stand on Dixieland Delight? Is that spicing up the rivalry for you?
I'd say by this point now, being just about a month into spring ball, yeah. At first it was kind of like, oh, this is cool. We knew what it was about. But after hearing it so many times, it's like, man, I got no doubt when that song comes in, later in the season that, you know, it's going to flip a switch. It's time to go.
I think they only play it once during the game. Wait till you hear Rocky Top. That's once every 3 minutes, it seems like.
I know there's more options in Tampa, but how has the food been so far in Auburn?
Oh, the food's been incredible. From a in the facility standpoint, you know, we got Ethan, the best nutritionist in the country, who does an amazing job. And that was the biggest thing that stood out to me here. Like my very first breakfast that I ate here at Auburn for my very first workout, I'm like, holy cow, this is, you know, this really is a different world, a different level. And I don't think there's been a single meal that I haven't sat down and cleaned my plate here. They do an amazing job from that standpoint. And in terms of food around this area, you know, I'm finding the gems, and I've been really, really happy with the food around here and the places that I've been going to on the weekends.
We'll fry anything in this part of the country. I mean, we will deep fry absolutely anything, Cole. There is no limit to that.
I know Winter Park's outside of Orlando. Are you by chance a Tampa Bay Rays fan? Swept the Yankees this past weekend.
So baseball is really the only sport in my life that I never really got into, you know, and I kind of wish that I would have, but I played just about every sport. I was involved and I followed just about every sport, but baseball I was never huge on. I did go to, I think, 2 or 3 Rays games just with a couple buddies when I was down in Tampa and had a great time. So I wouldn't say I'm a fan, but I'm a supporter.
Okay. Well, I'm a huge Buccaneer fan too. You played a little football.
You want to try that one too? You want to see if he's a Buccaneers fan? Okay.
Right, probably a Jaguar fan. He's north of Orlando, so maybe you're a Jags fan. I don't know. Do you have a favorite NFL team growing up?
So I was a huge Packers fan growing up. I was infatuated with Aaron Rodgers. I had one of my close childhood friends. Their family was all diehard Packers fans, and every weekend I was invited to their house to, you know, eat and watch the game. And that was when they had, you know, they called it the dream team, like Aaron Rodgers, Randall Cobb, Devontae Adams, all those guys. I fell in love with that team and that franchise. And I've always been a huge Aaron Rodgers guy, but, you know, I've always kind of stuck with my loyalty to that program. And everyone kind of asks, you know, do you have family from there? And no, it's just a team that I grew up loving. And now it's really cool because a former tackle that I played with is made the 53-man roster there last year. And so that was even, you know, more reason to support them. So I've always kind of been a Packers guy.
So interesting, an offensive lineman's favorite player is a quarterback. Did you ever play a skill position before, you know, you kind of filled out? Or hand in dirt always?
Hand in the dirt always. I played both ways in high school. There was a few games where they put me at linebacker. Probably better off I stayed on the D line, but no, other than that, never really played anything outside of in the trenches.
You weren't good at pass coverage, I take it.
No.
Okay.
No, I was a run stopper.
Let's see if Coach Golesh can design a center eligible play that'll make it work. Get the big man out in the flat.
There we go.
Always ready. Cole Best, Auburn Center, Auburn A-Day. The spring game is coming up this Saturday, Jordan-Hare Stadium. 2 o'clock Central Time start for that at Jordan-Hare Stadium for the Auburn spring game. Cole, thank you very much for the time. Best of luck this season.
Yes, sir. Thank you, guys. Have a good one.
That is Cole Best. Impressive guy, by the way. We'll see how he does on the field. I mean, obviously, he and Byrum Brown are very comfortable, as you heard him talk about. He's comfortable with Alex Goelsh in that system, but just overall, first impression with him, he's a very impressive guy.
Yeah. I mean, that's one of those guys that, you know, Auburn's probably lacked over the last couple of years. You know, not a ton of leadership.
Yeah.
But, you know, we asked him about being a leader, you know, immediately, and he seems like one of those guys.
He's got big shoes to fill. I mean, Conor Lou's going to be
NFL.
He's going to be drafted.
Yeah.
Maybe a day 2, but probably a day 3 guy at the center position. So we're going to have 2 centers from our state drafted in the draft now, a week from tonight.
But, you know, I mean, we talk about how bad the offensive line has been the last couple of years for Alabama, but one of the main consistent stays has been Parker Brailsford, a guy that transferred with Kayla DeBoer, and a guy that knew that offense. And we talked about how important it was, and you heard Alex Golesh reference how important it was to speed up the process of everybody getting this offense when you've got – you know, not only quarterback, but center, more importantly, that is part of that.
Don't forget, spring game is Saturday at Auburn, and they'll be divided up offense and defense, traditionally scoring for the offense, and some tweaks when you get a first down and things like that, and defensive scoring. Not a whole lot, running clocks except for injuries, and just a little banged up, said Alex Goelsh. Not just would love one day to get it to a point where they can divide in and have a draft and play an old game like they used to in the old days, but probably not going to do that. Definitely not doing that this year, and not anytime soon down on the Plains. Again, earlier we mentioned their win total 6.5. If Auburn ends up with 6 wins,
it's an improvement.
Yeah, I mean, you go to a bowl game, you get not a winning record, but a 500 record.
I think Auburn fans 2 months ago would have said, it's at least a step in the right direction. But I think the more you listen to Alex Goelsh, the more you hear about Byrum Brown, you get a little more excited. You probably want a little bit more than that.
Yeah,
I would
kind of agree.
Hey, speaking of a little bit more, when you need some legal help, the guy that gets you a little bit more is our buddy Alexander Shinara.
Well, how about $2 billion? I mean, that's a lot of money recovered for clients. Alexander Shinara is a Birmingham guy, Birmingham born and bred, built his practice right here in Birmingham. And in 25 years, he's seen that practice grow to now more than 150 attorneys, 500 dedicated team members working for you. So whatever your legal need, Shinara.com is the website to go to, Shinara.com. You do not pay a dime unless they win your case. They're very confident in what they do. That's how you end up with $2 billion, right, awarded to your clients. Shinara.com, Shinara.com for Alexander Shinara Trial Attorneys.
One Man in the Toolbox performs handyman services for homes and commercial properties in Birmingham, Tuscaloosa, Montgomery, and surrounding areas. They do regular repairs and maintenance, also small project renovations and updates. They've got multiple technicians with different skill sets, and they can tackle most any item in your home. When you call for that free estimate, 205-823-2111, and you talk to Jessica, make sure you mention the next round. You're going to get a discount for the first hour of service. Again, 205-823-2111. Or online, onemanandatoolbox.com.
Follow Scott Forrester on Twitter at ScottForresterTV.
I'm attorney Alexander Sherrell, Alabama born, Alabama raised, and ready to fight for your rights. I have one of the largest firms in Alabama, and we are here to help you get the compensation you deserve. Call me, Alabama, 323-1000.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services being performed is greater than those of other lawyers.
Sterling and the fine folks at Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster want to welcome you in for a great lunch or dinner starting at 11 a.m. every day. Chicken that's brined overnight and cooked to order, and the taste of the Delta with those Delta recipe tamales. Champy's is perfect for all your tailgating needs this football season. You can also choose Champy's for your next party, wedding, or birthday. Great food, great people. Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster, and everything online at champyschicken.com.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Hey, for all of your IT and printing needs, reach out to our friends at Xerox Business Solutions. Look, I'm still one of those old school guys. I print my notes every single day for the show. If you watch the show here on the next round, you see all the notes in front of me. From day one, Xerox Business Solutions, they've been with us here at the next round. Local for over 45 years. For all of your IT and printing needs, visit XeroxBusinessSolutions.com or call 205-969-3000. That's 205-969-3000. Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service. Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
When you think of Birmingham, it's hardworking people that go out each and every day to provide for their families, and that's how we want our team and our play on the field. Join us April 18th as we take on the Orlando Storm. United we ride.
Ain't no party like a Dega party. The noise, the chaos, the will to survive. The biggest, boldest, brashest, fastest, and most intimidating track in all of NASCAR. Only one place calls that home. At Talladega, anything can happen. And at this superspeedway, everything usually does. Hell yeah, boys! NASCAR weekend at Talladega Superspeedway, April 24th through the 26th. Get your tickets now at TalladagaSuperspeedway.com.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the next round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
All right, rolling through our final segment here today over at the Talladega Superspeedway, 877-GO-TO-DEGA. More on how to get tickets in a little bit. Don't forget, this hour of the show always brought to you by our friends at Champy's, world-famous fried chicken, champyschicken.com, Highway 119 in Alabaster. Get by there and enjoy lunch as they opened up about 4 minutes ago down there in Alabaster. Sterling and his crew ready to serve you with a destination lunch location. Those Mississippi Delta recipe tamales are just tremendous. They got a little heat to them. If you've never had the Mississippi Delta recipe, just makes the tamale that much better. And of course, the fried chicken. It's all about the fried chicken. It's brined overnight. It's cooked to order. It's juicy down to the bone. Hand-cut chicken fingers and so much more. Champy's Chicken, Highway 119, Alabaster. All right. Little football before we get to our four downs in our viewing menu today. We've talked a lot about win totals, and we've talked a lot about the SEC, particularly with the win totals. Pete Golding and Lane Kiffin are starting to lead into their Week 3 showdown, September 19th in Oxford. I mean, good friends. Pete Golding left Nick Saban in Alabama to go work with Lane Kiffin in Oxford, so those two got along a lot. But now they're on opposite side on what's going to be a fierce rivalry, and Pete Golding had an opportunity as spring football rolls on for them to meet the media again yesterday. Pete Golding getting asked a couple of things. Cut 8 first. Here's Pete Golding at his news conference. I think it's actually Neil McCready asking him, do you ever get on X or pay attention to anything going on Twitter? Here's the interaction with Pete Golding.
Do you pay attention to stuff that happens on X that gets where you get mentioned by certain people?
I really don't. I mean, obviously, I've got kids, right? And we've got people that work here and all that do all that. So things get brought up or somebody will send me a text message. And so you definitely see certain things. But, you know, I'm not good enough at this job to be on that all damn day and do this job. I don't know how they do it. More power to them. I'll learn one day. But there's enough things in the building that I need to do and do at a high level. But, yeah, I definitely see some of it based on what gets sent to me. Where are you going with that?
I was just curious. Your golf game was mentioned. There was a interaction at a baseball game recently, and that kind of thing.
My golf game? So Malloy is one of my best friends, right? So they had their little fundraiser for their par 3. So Trinidad and I went and hit the first shot, so I didn't get a play. I hit the first shot and then came on back. But I can assure you, if you saw my golf game, you wouldn't be worried about me playing golf.
When he says, I don't have time to be on social media all damn day, there is no doubt who he's talking about right there.
Yeah. Yep. Now, you know, to Lane's credit, though, I would want my coach a little bit, you know, more off of social media and more in the office. But Lane did win 11 games and got him to a college football playoff, tweeting his ass off last year.
He did do that.
And he made a brand come to the SIP. He made the brand the way he did it. And I think Pete Golding, if he's successful, will benefit off of the sales job that Lane Kiffin did to change the perception of Ole Miss football.
Well, you talk about the potential fierce rivalry between these two. I mean, if Ole Miss gets kicked in the dick this year, like, I think it's almost already gone. Like, I think Ole Miss really needs to win this one to really get this thing whipped into a frenzy. Because if Lane Kiffin in year one comes in,
get whipped into a frenzy because it's going to start in a frenzy,
But, oh, yeah, absolutely. But I'm just saying, if they lose that game and they go on and that win total's under and they go 7-5, I think they're already a forgotten program.
I mean, yeah, it does feel like, well, they couldn't back that up. They finally get to the college football playoff or, whatever, but they couldn't back that up.
I mean, Lane Kiffin's at a place that won 2 national championships without Nick Saban.
Yeah, Les Miles won one, and Ed Orgeron.
Ed Orgeron won one. And they're still chasing the ghost. He's still chasing the Nick Saban ghost, not the Alabama one, the one from Baton Rouge.
Yeah.
So there will be some of that Golding is chasing at Ole Miss. I mean, your best years, people remember it for a long, long time.
Can you imagine if Trinidad wasn't coming back? Like, there wouldn't be any expectation for this team.
And then, for a minute, that was up to a court, whether or not he was coming back. But you're right. If it was, I mean, the backup is Deuce Knight, right?
Yep.
I mean, it would have been Deuce Knight's show.
Yeah, and look, and maybe Deuce ends up being the next Trinidad champ.
You didn't know that. You didn't know Trinidad was going to be Trinidad.
But we know how good Trinidad is now.
Always College Football is a great podcast with Greg McElroy. You hear him over on Jocks, but he does this with ESPN, Always College Football. And Pete Golding was on with Greg recently, cut number 9, Tyler. And they talked about how Pete Golding ended up getting this job when Lane Kiffin left. And I thought this was really interesting.
And just walk us through that night and being told, all right, hey, Pete, you're our guy.
Yeah, so it started, obviously the Egg Bowl was that Friday, right? So then I rode back with Kiff. Knox had a playoff game, so we took the van back instead of riding back with the team. And
I thought you said you travel better. What do you mean? What do you mean?
Well, we played at Starville, bro. You're not an hour and 20 minutes. Like, we stay at home. And so then, I still couldn't get a real feel because I was with him the whole time. I was like, hey, Tuesday I'm going to Florida. Hey, Wednesday I'm going to LSU. Like, hey, Thursday I'm staying. So I still couldn't have it a real feel. And then Saturday night that I got the first call from Keith, right? Saturday night saying, hey, Kiff's decided to go elsewhere. Like, hey, let's meet at 7:30. So we went in there, met with 7:30, started talking about some things. And then he met with the Players Council, and then it got real about 12:20 that day. They called me back over there, the chancellor and Keith, and was like, hey, man, we really want you to do this. We think it's the right time. We think you're the right guy. Because I kind of expressed throughout it, that, I love my role, right? You ain't got to worry about me going anywhere. I came because of my family and all that. And then the situation of how it went down, what was going on, everything about it, it's just, the timing. It goes back to timing to me. It was just it just felt right. It wasn't anything that I wanted to ask for, any of those type of things. And it felt right. And, I never thought I would want to do it at this age. And then after 5 days being into it, man, I was like, man, I wish I would have done this a long time ago, to be honest with you, the ability, to be able to impact people around you and all those type of things. But it was super fast. I was 12:22 on that Sunday, right? Because they mentioned a couple other names. And to be honest with them, I'm like, you know what? I really don't want to work for somebody else at this point in my career, right? Let's just do this. I didn't ask how much, didn't ask how many years. I just went straight over to the building, started recruiting some offensive staff, right? Try to keep them off the plane by 2:00. And we had a 1:00 team meeting, had no idea. I was meeting with an offensive coach and 12:58, hey, come in here. And then it was the announcement. So that was a little bit of a surprise. And then, this is the Sunday before a Wednesday signing day.
Yeah.
So obviously we weren't concerned from a defensive standpoint, but I hadn't had a relationship with the offensive guys that were outside of my area. So trying to do that, and then retention of staff and all that. So it happened super fast, man. But I think it was a blessing, to be honest with you, that you had a game in 2 weeks. It was a blessing to me that signing day was Wednesday, man, because you just went straight to work and you had nothing to think about, and you were on with parents and you were on with kids, and then in the meantime you're talking about coaches, who can we get to replace if they don't come back? And so there was never a dull moment. Didn't have time to think about it, to be honest with you. And it's one of those things, man. Shoot or shoot, man. So you got your opportunity, you got to roll.
Yeah, let me say this. I love Pete Golding.
I do too.
I hope he works out. If you had an opportunity and you're like, man, you got to go, a cross country trip in a car, or 48 hours in Vegas. I mean, Pete Golding would be the one SEC coach I would want to hang out with.
No, he does seem like a fun guy. The thing we kind of forget in all of that is Alabama was potentially a 4th and 3 away from Ole Miss having to make a really, really difficult decision, which I think they would have had to let Lane Kiffin coach the SEC. Like, I don't think they had another choice at that point.
The SEC championship
game, yeah, because if Bama doesn't convert that and Auburn drives and scores, that game was still tied at the point. Alabama didn't, they weren't behind when they went for that 4th and 3. But if they don't convert that and say Auburn drives and kicks a field goal to win the game, all of a sudden Ole Miss is the representative.
So they had the tiebreaker over Texas A&M?
Mm-hmm. Ole Miss was your rep. And all of a sudden Ole Miss was going to have to make a really, really – I say a difficult decision. I don't think it's that difficult a decision. They were going to have to let Lane Kiffin coach the SEC championship game.
If he would have.
Oh, I think he was trying to coach the playoffs. Yeah. I think 100% would have coached the SEC.
Hearing him retell it to Greg McElroy on Always College Football, the podcast, it was overwhelming. I mean, amazing. They did what they did in the playoffs, had a good run. And I bet it was after that loss the next day when he sat down and he's like, man, I'm the head coach at Ole Miss. And
how did that happen?
And it's been moving so fast, it hasn't really sunk in yet. Almost like after a car accident that you sit there and you go, oh, my God, that's when you get scared after the accident.
Well, he was from day one. I mean, look, it was going to get magnified because it was his first time on the sideline, but was playing with house money. Now, when he takes on that first loss as Ole Miss's head coach, it's going to feel a little different.
Well, especially because that first loss could be LSU. That's going to double it down.
You think anybody outside of LSU fans is pulling for LSU?
No, I think most people want to see Ole Miss win that game.
Yeah, they want to see Lane Kiffin get spanked with College Game Day on national TV.
Now, do you think that's $8,000 ticket?
Yes.
You had it the other day.
Brad,
I think it was 500 get-ins.
I think it was 500. I thought it was 1,000. But yeah, maybe.
Yeah, it was pretty hefty.
Yeah, small stadium.
I would say LSU fans and State fans are pulling for LSU. Everybody else pulling for Ole Miss in that one.
Yeah.
Right. The State fans are on LSU. That's the only other ones.
State fans, that's going to be. They're cheering for.
They hate Kiffin too.
They want carnage.
They're gonna watch and just like
this is the Auburn fan watching Georgia Alabama national team.
I can't pull for anybody.
Yeah. All right. Before we do our 4 downs today, tell us about our friends at Hemp Hill LT one more time.
Again, the weather is going to be all-time record highs here in the month of April. You need to make sure that HVAC unit ready to keep up with this changing weather. 205-229-2090. Adam, Chad, Andrew, the guys there. Tell them the next round sent you. Trust the name. Birmingham has trusted since 1954, whether it's the HVAC, plumbing, any of those issues, home or business, they are ready to serve you. Hard to stop a train. For more information, hemphillservices.com.
And 4 downs every single day on the show, including when Tyler brings it to us like today, presented by our friends at Alabama Asphalt and Construction. You ride around Alabama's roadways and you see those major state, federal government, municipal roadway projects. You probably are looking at our guys from Alabama Asphalt and Construction. Now, you may think that means that they don't have room for your job. You would be incorrect. Whether it's a parking pad, a parking lot for a church or community center, a driveway, they've got an entire division dedicated just to that. Same crews, same group of people, and they do the same hard work. You can get an estimate right now, 205-349-0910, 205-349-0910, or centralalabamaasphalt.com.
First down.
Alrighty. What's the worst car accident you've ever been a part of?
Ooh. Are we telling people why you're bringing this up?
I mean, I can. So on my way back from Universal, my sister was driving us back, and we got in a 5-car collision. Both of us are okay, just very bruised, and she's kind of rattled and scared a little bit. But, everything's okay. It is the worst car accident I've ever been a part of, though. I had to get a CT scan the other day.
Oh, no. Everything good, though?
Yeah, everything's good. No internal bleeding. I had a bunch of weird symptoms.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were heading to New Orleans for...
Ooh, I remember this.
Yeah, we had been doing a show together for a year, I think. It was 2010. And so me and my ex-wife were heading over to New Orleans to celebrate an anniversary. And it was a Friday afternoon. I remember she was like paying bills in the front seat. We were in her Tahoe. I'm in the far left lane. A lot of traffic on this Friday afternoon. We were right outside of the Mercedes plant in Vance. And I looked, there was I'll never forget, a white Expedition in the emergency lane right by the retaining wall. And so I was making sure, because, I mean, we're in the speed lane and the far left, probably going 85, 90 miles an hour. And I'm looking to make sure that I've got enough room on that side. Well, when I look up, the car in front of me had gotten over because one of those tow truck trailers had stopped in the middle of the road to back up and get this guy. And I hit that thing. I just remember my initial thought was, I just killed us. And I can't make that up. It was really surreal. But I hit that thing basically going 85 miles an hour. And it was, my ex-wife had no idea what was going on at the time. The airbags obviously deployed. We were lucky that it was able to move that truck a little bit, but it shot the engine underneath the
engine. Yeah, your engine went underneath the Tahoe. Yeah.
We had plastic coat hangers in the back. All of those snapped. I don't know how we walked away from this. My ex-wife had to go to DCH to get checked out, but I didn't have a scratch on me. But it stayed with me for a long time. I mean, it's one of those, when I hear a car crash now, it still bothers me.
It's got a distinct sound. I heard one the other day. We were coming home from church, and there was one on the opposite traffic lane of 280. And everybody in the car was like, ooh, that was a car wreck. And we didn't even see it. You could just hear it. When I was in high school, I had a Jeep Cherokee. No.
Chevy Blazer.
Chevy Blazer. Yeah, I got the Cherokee after this. I had a Chevy Blazer, and it was my favorite car. And took a turn in Saks in the rain a little faster than I should have, and we started the dance, and there was a large concrete ditch, like a drainage ditch. I think they call it culvert. Have you heard it called that? I guess that's what it was. And I hit in that ditch, and it crushed the passenger side. Thank God I was by myself. Crushed the passenger side, but left me hanging because my car was just kind of like that. So I had to push the door up and unbuckle myself and climb out. Thank God one of the neighbors or one of the people living there came running up and helped me out. But if somebody had been riding with me, it would have been really, really bad.
Oof.
Totaled that Chevy Blazer, and I love that thing, man. I had my eye on that Blazer.
I know. You used to drive by it after school.
I did. PK Brooks, used cars. Mr. Brooks was a client of my dad. My dad was a CPA. Mr. Brooks was a client of my dad.
You had to make all A's, right?
No, I drove my dad's old car for 6 weeks and had to prove that I could take care of that car.
That's what it was.
Before he would buy me this used, it was a used Chevy Blazer. It was not brand new.
Now, did PK work out a deal with Randy on the
tax returns? Yeah. I don't know if that's legal. But that's who we bought our cars from, though, because he was one of my dad's clients. So if we bought a car, we bought it from Mr. Brooks. And he had that Chevy Blazer sitting there, and I was just praying, Lord, let that Chevy Blazer make it 6 weeks.
Yeah, 6 weeks.
So that I can get it if I take it. And I took perfect care of my dad's old car. And he's like, okay, we'll go get it now. And I drove it for like 2 months and totaled it. So sad.
Randy probably did call up him and say, don't sell that one.
Yeah, hold that one, PK. I got to come get it.
Yeah, that one's actually with somebody. For me, I've only had one.
I don't think that's wood.
Yeah, it's just a it's Moore's Crossroads, I think it was. Right?
Okay.
Toyota Tercel, the one I ended up losing gambling. It was right before I moved to Lexington. And I'm leaving Montevallo one day, and a car, it used to be a four-way stop, not a red light, traffic light like it is now. And a truck, not a semi, but a big truck, pulled out. Well, I guess it wasn't four-way, it was two-way, this way, because I was going on 119. And it pulled out, and I couldn't stop fast enough. And I locked up the brakes and slid, and all I did was hit the back tire for him. So it dented his tire in a little bit, didn't do any other damage really to his car, but it folded his wheel underneath, and it buckled my hood to where it was a buckled hood, and banged that thing out like it was NASCAR here in Talladega.
Taped her up and
drove it for a long time.
Just ran for points at the end.
Yeah. Ended up taking that to Lexington, and then back here, it was what I ended up selling for a Suzuki Samurai.
There you go.
Damaged. So that was the Carfax on that one. So pretty lucky for me.
The Carfax had bookie possession.
Yeah.
2 wrecks.
My wife, though, when we first started dating, she had a Jeep Cherokee, and she had one of those accidents like Lance. You just wondered how she walked away.
Yeah.
Tumbled semi pulled over on her down by the Pelham tanks back when it was 2 lanes on each side there. And she went down into the medium and tumbled 6 times, and it was crushed all around her, and just only thing she had was a broken nose because of the airbag.
Oof.
So, but she was lucky. I was at Mike Dubos's news conference, where he was making the announcement
Speaking of car wrecks,
he was going to be back
Yeah.
at Alabama despite the issues with the secretary, that uncomfortable news conference.
Was
It was
she
that day.
was she listening? Is that why she had the accent?
So no, he's coming back.
No, she.
No, we're rid of him.
We had just started dating, and nobody even told me. I didn't know about it because I was doing late local. I didn't know about it until between shows that it even happened. So probably the last time I got a
Yeah,
flower.
that's. I don't wish that on anybody.
Yeah, it's
you know,
terrible.
I mean,
Yeah.
I got really, really fortunate. Obviously, your wife got really fortunate, but man, there's something. Those things stick with you. I couldn't sleep. I went the full night. I went to sleep at like 9 a.m. the next day. I just couldn't sleep. I couldn't.
Yeah.
I was just so wired up.
But I've had Brown's driven with me when I would sleep in the passenger seat. I've had friends who have died, who fell asleep, behind the wheel, or somebody who was driving them fell asleep, and they either got injured, somebody they knew died. And I've had a lot of bad car accidents that I haven't been a part of that have been in my circle. I'm the worst passenger because if I fall asleep, I used to wake
Terrible.
up.
He'd
Wake up and scream at you or grab the wheel because I'd always dream about my buddy's accidents coming back to Montevallo in college.
Yeah, saddest
That's
4 ounce
exactly what
question
you wanna
ever,
see in
Tyler.
the
Yeah, the
driver's
longest
seat.
4 ounce question.
That's why we were all so concerned for you, because we've all experienced such horrible things, and we're still concerned for you because it's the aftermath of that. Like LT still, I think, deals with it.
Yeah, well, I appreciate it and all the patience y'all have given me this week because I'm moving around like the Tin Man today.
Second down.
Alrighty, Nate Diaz. It's his birthday today. He turns 41. So who is the scariest athlete that you can think of? Nate Diaz, for anyone who doesn't know, is a UFC fighter who trains by swimming to Alcatraz.
Wow, that is pretty.
I had Nate Diaz as a catcher for the Chicago White Sox.
Yeah, Nate Diaz, one of the greatest UFC moments ever, right, Tyler? I mean, one of the biggest surprises.
Oh, yeah. Nate Diaz is... He might be the greatest fighter in the UFC history.
Wow. I think he's actually a nice guy, but Takeo Spikes can scare you to death. Now, I know he's not active anymore, so I went past, but Takeo, man, he can turn on that mean mug.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a scary look. He is a big dude.
Yeah, Ron Artest was that guy in basketball. Like, he's just a guy that you first of all, you didn't know, like, where he was going to be on the scale of crazy.
Yeah, sometimes up in the stands.
Going into the day. But, yeah, Ron Artest was one of those guys that, I heard from his St. John's day. Boy, if he snapped on you, did not want that.
Reuben Foster for me.
Oh, my gosh. He could blow some people up,
Yeah,
couldn't
he would human missile.
You remember that kickoff return hit in the LSU game, and it looked like, or no,
Yes.
I think it was Texas A&M. Some dude's tooth flew out. It looked like. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Like CBS caught it, and it looked like a dude's tooth flew out.
Okay, this is going to be random from the past, but I ran into a guy that went to Northport High, and he actually graduated with this guy because I asked him. I was like, did you grow up with Andre Royal? And he's like,
remember him?
Yeah. And the stories I heard, because I knew a couple of guys that were playing for Bama with Andre Royal, and I heard there was not a guy on the team that could take him.
Yeah. Like, he used to be fast off the edge for Alabama.
Well, he's one of those country boys that they just know how to fight.
Yeah.
And like, according to this, and this guy also told me he took a swing at, who was it in the NFL?
Well, I'm not going to remember that.
Yeah.
I barely remember Andre Royal.
But anyway, Andre Royal is a bad dude.
Yeah.
How can Diaz be the greatest fighter in UFC history if he's lost 13 times?
You don't win them all in UFC. It's impossible.
You don't win them all. Those are gladiator matches.
Yeah. I mean, they really are. I mean, that's the thing. You get a guy, you look at a John Jones, or you look at a Conor McGregor back in their day, or even Ronda Rousey on the women's side, and you're like, man, they look unbeatable. And then the next thing you know, they lose a fight. It's impossible to stay on top.
Yeah. John Jones is, according to the robot, as LT calls it, AI, is the GOAT of UFC wrestling all time, or fighting all time. St. Pierre,
George St. Pierre.
Silva.
Anderson Silva
Yeah.
was fantastic as well.
Yeah, Demetrius Johnson, also in there. Your guy did not make the top 5.
Ooh, bad list.
According to the robot.
Yeah.
It depends on what metrics you're going with. Nate Diaz, he's never been like the strongest guy or the biggest guy. He is the toughest guy by far, though. You're not knocking him down and keeping him down.
Yeah, I'm not a UFC guy, but the robot said he had a Conor McGregor problem. McGregor tagged him a couple times, right?
Yep, McGregor got him.
Third down.
This weekend, the movie Lorne releases. It's a documentary on Lorne Michaels, the creator of Saturday Night Live. So, what's your favorite SNL sketch? And who's your favorite actor that's been on the SNL cast?
You know, I used to like Justin Timberlake. Not a fan anymore, but Dick in the Box.
It's pretty funny.
Him and Andy Samberg.
Yeah.
With Maya Rudolph's in it. I mean, that's just an incredible sketch. Smith's Gay was great, too, with Chris Farley and Adam Sandler house sitting with a bunch of dudes in their pool.
I know, wearing Speedos. More Cowbell is classic. It's very, very funny, but
Actually
it is
voted by the AI robot #1.
Is the More Cowbell?
Yep,
I mean,
1,000.
I would say it's the most famous skit of all time, and Christopher Walken is so funny in it.
Is Dick in a Box on there?
Did not make the top 5. Top 5 is Matt Foley, Van Down by the Rivers, #2.
That was hilarious.
Celebrity Jeopardy is #3.
Yeah, the Burt Reynolds character in there.
Chippendale's Audition is.
Remember that one?
Well, yeah, with Patrick Swayze.
Patrick Swayze.
I mean, that was Chris Farley's. That put him on the map.
Yeah, Chris Farley was.
1990. That's a long time ago.
Yeah.
And Debbie Downer, Disney World, 2004.
I never liked those. I give you a running one they had. Tyler, you're too young to remember this. Phil Hartman used to do the anal retentive chef, and one time he cut his finger off or something like that. And it was just it was just such a silly skit. But Phil Hartman was such a funny guy. He played it so well.
Yeah, and him as K-Man Lawyer, we've talked about that before. He did these subtle skits that were so good.
Yeah, Phil Hartman was hilarious.
I like Toonce as the cat that would drive people over
the driving cat. Yeah.
Reoccurring favorites recent favorites: Black Jeopardy and Washington's Dream with Nate Bargatze.
Black Jeopardy was where Tom Hanks was the one white guy on there.
Yes.
And he's wearing the.
I've never seen that.
Oh, it is pretty funny.
It's pretty good.
It's pretty funny.
Kenan Thompson fills in the host role for Will Ferrell.
Yeah. Yeah, Tom Hanks is funny on it.
Fourth down.
Martin Lawrence turns 61 today. So, who is the best comedy duo of all time, in your opinion? Whether it's stand-up or radio or TV or movies?
Jeff Foxworthy, Bill Engvall. Is that yours, Lance?
No, it is not. What was that called on TBS when they used to promote it?
The Blue Collar Tour.
Yeah,
Blue Collar.
Blue Collar Comedy Tour.
Yeah. Best combo, huh?
I mean,
Martin Lawrence, Eddie Murphy is hard to beat.
I will go in movies or like TV shows.
Just any of them if you've got a favorite.
I'll
like
go
you could,
old guy.
You could take it back to Abbott and Costello if you wanted to, Jim.
No, I'm gonna go old guy, and I'm gonna say it is Richard Pryor and the guy with the
Gene
hair,
Wilder.
Gene Wilder.
Yeah,
they were a good combo. I've said this a million times, but I love Nick Nolte and Eddie Murphy and 48 Hours and Another 48 Hours.
This probably does not hold up, but when I was a kid, do you guys remember the Carol Burnett show?
Yes.
And I was a little kid, and they had Tim Conway and Harvey Korman, I think was his name. And he was the straight guy, and Conway was obviously the comedy. And they would break all the time. And that's, as a kid, I thought that was hilarious. Now, I'd have to go back and watch now to see if the humor holds up. But I remember thinking as a kid, it was hilarious.
You know, television comedy is so difficult to do. There's not a lot of good ones out there. Rooster's really good right now. There is a new show on Netflix called Bad Mistakes.
Yeah.
With Dan Levy, Eugene's son, the guy that
I saw a preview for it. It looks pretty good.
Man, I am like 7 episodes in, and they're only 30 minutes each. It is him and his sister. He
loses his cufflinks in the coffin, right? That's the preview.
Yeah, but see, you don't know why they're going to the coffin.
I don't know.
It's the dynamic between him and his sister, though, and then Laurie Metcalf is their no filter mom that's running for mayor.
Yeah.
I think it's got potential to be the next great comedy. That and Rooster. Both of them are really, really good.
And that is our 4 downs today. Before we do our viewing menu, and put a wraps on things here at Talladega Superspeedway. One thing about Talladega Superspeedway, you can get your tickets at TalladegaSuperspeedway.com. You also get some ice cold Coca-Cola out here.
You certainly can. And don't forget, the World Cup is coming up. I mentioned how expensive the tickets are, right? Well, don't worry about the tickets. Go see the trophy. And our friends at Coca-Cola are going to let you do that right now with the FIFA World Cup trophy. It's a tour, and it's coming to Birmingham, presented by Coca-Cola. Thursday, May 7th at Uptown from 2 to 6. Your chance to get a free photo with the iconic FIFA World Cup original trophy. Once-in-a-lifetime moment for fans of all ages. The FIFA World Cup trophy tour by Coca-Cola, because fan work is thirsty work.
All right, man. Can't wait to see that down there at Uptown. And Michelson Laser Vision and some other things you can see.
Yeah, make the phone call today, 205-969-8100. If you wear glasses or contacts, you're wasting money each and every year. Find out if LASIK is right for you. That simple phone call. Ask for Amy. She'll hook you up, hassle-free consultation. You've got zero to lose to find out if it's right for you. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, best in the business. For more information, michelsonlaservision.com.
All right, got a few new releases today. First off, I will be seeing the new remake of The Mummy. This is taking it in a different direction, as this will center around a young daughter of a journalist disappearing in the desert and then suddenly reappearing 8 years later. So the joyful family reunion quickly turns into a true nightmare. It'd be pretty wild if you lost your kid in the desert and they just show up 8 years later.
That would be quite wild. I would agree.
Right. Yeah. I told you that movie I watched the other night, Tyler, Sarat. You guys would love this. I couldn't figure out if it's Arabic, Spanish. I'm not exaggerating. French or English, because it was in all four languages, and it takes place in the Moroccan desert. But this guy and his son go looking for his daughter that's been missing for 5 years, and they go to a rave because she's a big raver. Don't find her at that rave. They want to follow some other people to another rave just in case she's there. I know you guys will never see it, so I'll just want to give it to you.
Completely ruined this.
So they're on these dangerous, treacherous roads, driving above these cliffs, and one of the trucks gets stopped, and so the guy gets out to help them in front. He leaves the emergency brake off, so his kid rolls off the cliff, kills his kid. Next thing you know, they're setting up for the next raid. They do it in a minefield. I didn't realize this. There are 110 million active mines out there in the world. More than 10,000 people a year die accidentally from stepping on landmines.
Well, that's very sad.
10,000 a year?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a lot. That seems like a lot. But
there's a lot of third world countries, man. They're everywhere.
Yeah.
So anyway, you guys would not like that film.
Okay, I'll take it off my list then. I had it on for this weekend.
I think the one you were talking about, Tyler, is that in the trailer they say, "Why was our daughter in the whatever that word is?"
Sarcophagus.
Yeah. I think that's
Try
in the
that
trailer.
again, Brown.
It's like
the
what?
The sarcophagus.
Sarcophagus.
Sarcophagus. It's a tomb.
Yeah.
You just say
I know what it is.
I know. I'm just saying, why would you say
You
sarcophagus?
can't say it.
Yeah.
What else you got, Tyler?
Next up, we've got a new movie called Normal. This was, if you watch the next reel, this appeared on Lance's most anticipated movies of 2026. It's described as a neo-Western thriller starring Bob Odenkirk as Ulysses, an unassuming substitute sheriff assigned to the quiet Midwestern town of Normal. Seeking a temporary escape from personal and professional turmoil, Ulysses instead finds himself drawn into a crisis when a botched bank robbery exposes a dangerous secret beneath the town's calm exterior. As tensions escalate, he is forced to confront his troubled past and the true nature of the community he has been tasked with protecting. And in addition to Bob Odenkirk, it also has Lena Headey, who was Cersei Lannister in Game of Thrones, and also has Henry Winkler, a.k.a. the Fonz.
Yeah, this is more in Odenkirk's wheelhouse. I didn't like the Nobody where he played the tough, ex-hitman.
That didn't work, did it?
Yeah, but this looks good. Now, the reviews aren't great. 78% currently is where it sits on the tomato meter, but I will probably not see it in the theater, but I will watch it at home.
We've also got another new release called Mother Mary. I know nothing about this movie other than the little blurb that says, long-buried wounds rise to the surface when iconic pop star Mother Mary reunites with her estranged best friend and former costume designer on the eve of her comeback performance. It's described as a psychological thriller, but I really don't know anything else about it. And then finally on viewing menu today, CinemaCon's been going on this week, and we got an announcement that Air Bud Returns will be coming out next year. They brought the dog out, and they also announced that
Not the same dog, by the way.
Oh, really? That dog's not alive? Okay.
Well, see, that's the thing. They announced that the new movie will acknowledge that the original Buddy has already passed. And so I don't know how I feel about that. Because
Dude, he died of cancer like 20 years ago.
Yeah.
that
Well,
dog
it'll just
was-
be at the beginning. It'll just say in memory of Air Bud 1.
Yeah, the movie has also been described where the main kid finds a VHS copy of the original Air Bud. So I don't know what kind of direction they're taking this in. But either way, if you'd like to relive some of those movies, you can go to Disney Plus. They've got Air Bud Golden Receiver, Air Bud World Pup, Air Bud 7th Inning Fetch, and Air Bud Strikes Back, as well as
Those are great names.
Buddies
Honestly,
movies.
never seen one.
Didn't Air Bud do Bud Light commercials for the Super Bowl one year?
I don't think.
That
but
was Spuds McKenzie.
Spuds McKenzie did.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's what you're thinking of.
And they've also got the Air Buddies movies where Air Bud's kids go to space, meet Santa Claus, and get superpowers. I don't know why they went that direction with the movies, but
Why was Air Bud in the sarcophagus?
It's a documentary.
That's what Tyler's watching with LT. And don't forget, the next reel is out right now on all of our platforms. The next reel, go and check that out. And that's our show today, brought to you in part this hour by our friends at Champy's on Highway 119 in Alabaster. Go by and see Sterling and the crew for lunch today. And don't forget to get your tickets here for the Talladega Superspeedway. We appreciate the hospitality, everybody having us out here to the world's fastest speedway today to sort of get everybody fired up. And we were just checking out all the stuff they're doing, whether they're cleaning Big Bill's garage experience down there or hanging up signage, getting ready for you guys to come camping. How many campers already over there? I saw 5 or 6 RVs.
Yeah, I mean, the RVs are already out.
That's just in the infield. There's some out in the camping area I saw earlier today, too.
The unbelievable camping area. Get your tickets right now, TalladagaSuperspeedway.com. Back in studio tomorrow, and we'll have some fun, including the SEC coaching list that we put together, 1 to 16. Pretty tough to do. We'll get to that tomorrow on the show. Until next time, God bless you and God bless America.
I'm attorney Alexander Shinnar.